standing as I invite our dear sister Yumel Devines to come to lead us in a word of prayer as we put God first. And this is our customary practice in the PNM. We always seek to put God ahead. The Bible says to us, unless the Lord build the city, they labor in vain that build it. And so we are very, very cognizant of the fact that in everything that we do, we must always ensure that our building, that our labor, that our watching is never, ever, ever going to be in vain. So join with us as we invite God's presence tonight.
Good evening, PNM family. Let us pray. Father and God, we give you thanks, we give you praise, we give you glory and honor. We thank you for the privilege to be here this evening at this PNM's meeting, and that everybody will be educated and use their intelligence on the 12th of January to go out and support the PNM. And Lord, I pray that everyone will be educated tonight and minds will be made up as to what should be done on the 12th of January. So bless us as a people, bless us as a nation. And Lord, I lift up all the candidates, especially 𝐊𝐶𝐒 at this time. Lord, pour out your blessing upon him. Give him the knowledge, give him the understanding to go forth in this battle and be victorious. Bless us, I pray, in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
I'll ask for us just to remain standing for one short time again. Whilst I was on my way here tonight, I got the news of the very untimely passing of one of our soldiers, our stalwarts, in the person of Miss Cindy Robley. She would have passed on today, and I want us just to observe 1 minute of silence in her honor and memory, beginning now. Thank you very much. We also stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Trinidad on the passing of former Member of Parliament, Mr. Eddie Hart. Not just a Member of Parliament, but a literal father to many young men and women in the area of Tunapuna, Makoya, that entire district. Good evening, good evening, good evening, Mason Hall. Good evening, PNM family. PNM. We are asking that the chairs that are provided should remain within the confines of the car park. This would provide for easier tracking and parking after the meeting is ended. Mr. DJ, our theme song. PNM. I want to see every PNM flag. I want to see every PNM flag bearer. If you're behind, come forward. In the name of the People's National Movement, we stand tall this evening in the community of Mason Hall, North Mariah. We're here to make a definite statement to tell all of this electoral district that we support 𝐊𝐶𝐒 Devines, that we support the team that is ready to put Tobago first. Again, every flag bearer, every flag bearer, we are here to send a clear message. We are here to send a message of hope to the people and the residents of Mason Hall. For too long, you have been neglected. This is the time and the hour for a new direction to be built out, a new course to be plotted, and the man, the standard bearer to do that is in the person of Mr. 𝐌𝐀𝐒𝐻. Yeah? Pull it up, Mr. DJ. PNM family, you see tonight, we read and we ready. We not making joke with them tonight. And we are here saying to the people of Mason Hall, North Moriah, that the decision is easy. Let me remind you that they took days wondering if to rehire this representative because he did not represent. And it is time that the people of this electoral district meet somebody, walk with somebody, stand with somebody who understands the needs, understands the walk, doesn't just talk the talk, and the only time you see him is not when he wants something done. We in the People's National Movement have taken the firm stand and the affirmation to come to Tobago and stand boldly saying that we will put Tobago first. We put Tobago first for 21 years. 21 years. And we are ready, we are ready, we are waiting to repeat that task. But this time with a new team. This time with vigor, vitality, energy. We are ready to take this thing to the next level. We are not a carbon copy. The People's National Movement is the original.
You dig?
And this evening, every speaker is going to echo that same sentiment, that we are here not just to take over, but to consistently put the needs of the people of Tobago first. Again, this evening, I want to welcome to the podium
You dig?
a standard bearer who is considered to be in the brother or sister electoral district. A young man who is known for his service, not just his height. A young man who many can relate to. Families, women, men, children, they all can attest to his level of service to his community. And ladies and gentlemen, he's the standard bearer for Mason Hall, Bagatelle South. And just as we said in that district, that he will put their needs first. Tonight, let us welcome Dexter Miller as he continues to blaze the trail to endorse Mr. 𝐌𝐀𝐒𝐻.
Crying, afraid to go to bed, I'm balling. No place to rest my head. Each new day, no employment for me, so it's no pay. With a starving family, it's pressure, 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 pressure. They promise to fix this thing so we can start living with a safe surrounding. But there is no easing up if they don't fix this thing so we can start eating and stop the children from starving. We don't intend to stop it. Bacchanal, 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 all day, all night. Bacchanal, bacchanal, bacchanal.
Yeah, yeah. Mace Knoll, North Moria, good night. Let me also say good night to Mace Knoll, South Bagatelle, the bordering neighboring constituency. And you know it's good to see night after night we continue to reaffirm our commitment and our position to the People's National Movement and the people of Tobago, that we intend to make a definite change as we go forward for the future of this island. In the absence, let me recognize the political leader of the People's National Movement, Tobago Council, and the next Chief Secretary, Mr. Ansel K. Dennis. It would be remiss of me if I don't recognize the minority leader, Mr. Kelvin Morris, and the next representative and standard bearer for Darrell Spring Wim. Mr. Larry Paul, Chairman of the Tobago Council, and other executives. I see in the crowd Ms. Ayana Repsaroy, former Member of Parliament for Tobago. Good night, ma'am. All other candidates present, constituents, good evening. And all who are joining us online and on our platforms night after night to show your commitment from that platform, good evening to you as well. Let me first begin by thanking each and every one of you for being here night after night and coming out here tonight to reassure or reconfirm your position as standard bearers for this party. Your presence is indeed sending a very strong and clear and definite message that we together will put Tobago first again. It says that you also care about Tobago. It also says that you care about your community, you care about your future, and the path that you are now choosing, we are choosing that path together. Tonight is not just about individual, it's about purpose, it's about unity, it's about the future that we intend to build with the plans that the People's National Movement has rolled out to you, the people of Tobago, that together we are giving you our contract that says we intend to put your needs first. Through our community conversations, or walkabouts, or canvassing, or meetings, this plan was brought about not only by us, but we took each and every result that you gave, every instance you identified to us, and we are saying to you, this is the contract between the People's National Movement and you, the people of Tobago. My brothers and sisters, progress is never built on one voice. It's not built on one seat. It is built on constituency and consistently standing together on its own. Real progress is forged when strong people rise together, united by shared values, driven by common purpose, and committed to a single vision for our future. That is exactly what you get with all 15 candidates under the People's National Movement. We are a united team. We stand ready to serve, we stand ready to lead, and we stand ready to move Tobago forward. Brothers and sisters, this is why teamwork matters. This is why unity matters. This is why this election is bigger than any single name on a ballot paper. Because you elect a team that is united, in touch with your people, and grounded in the struggles. We give Tobago and Tobagonians the best opportunity to chart a new path forward together. Not one behind, not one in front. We are moving together. Brothers and sisters, while I stand in support of strong leadership across our team, I also want to speak directly to you about why I am offering myself to serve you. I am not running because of ambition. I am not running because of self. I'm running because I believe our community, and by extension, Tobago deserves better. We deserve stronger advocacy. We deserve results, not just empty, unfilled promises. We share the same stories. Most communities share the same stories. Neglect and others as we go on.
We have walked the same roads. I believe in leadership that must be present, prepared, and accountable. My commitment to you is very simple: to continue to serve with integrity, to work tirelessly on your behalf and on behalf of all the people, and to continue to be accessible, responsive, and responsible in action, word, thought, and deed. One person alone cannot deliver transformation. It is delivered by a strong, united team. Together, this team, under the leadership of Ansel K. Dennis, will deliver real governance. We will deliver commitment. We know how to listen and how to meet the needs of our community, and how to create meaningful economic opportunity for us all. When you vote the PNM, brothers and sisters, you are not just choosing individuals, you are choosing direction, you are choosing stability, and you are choosing a leadership that will work with and for you. People of Maisonneuve, North Moriah, and fellow Tobagonians, my task tonight is a very simple one. I am Dexter Miller, your PNM standard bearer for Maisonneuve South, Bagatelle, and I stand before you
PNM
to endorse your candidate and your PNM standard bearer and your next elected area representative, Mr. 𝐻𝐒 𝐍𝐈𝐆𝐇𝐄.
You dig, you dig, you dig, you dig.
Brothers and sisters, 𝐻𝐻𝐒 𝐍𝐈𝐆𝐇𝐄 has served you before. And the greatest teacher in life is experience. There's nothing could substitute for it. He has served your needs in this district with distinction. He has been tried, he has been tested, and he has proven his worth, and he has proven that you can put your trust in him. His record speaks for itself. As the Secretary of Division of Infrastructure, Quarries, and Urban Development from 2017 to 2021, 𝐻𝐻𝐒 𝐍𝐈𝐆𝐇𝐄 ensured that real security and opportunity was delivered to the people of Tobago. Over 525 officers in this division were given permanent status. More than 560 persons or workers were promoted, and hundreds who once had no status were eventually regularized. If that is not a commitment to service, ladies and gentlemen, well, somebody tell me what is. My brothers and sisters, 𝐻𝐻𝐒 𝐍𝐈𝐆𝐇𝐄 has demonstrated integrity, resilience, honesty, and an unwavering commitment to service. These are qualities that define true leadership and the kind of representation that this electoral district needs at this present time and climate. My brothers and sisters, his already proven track record has shown that effective representation is a daily commitment. It is not something practiced only months before an election. Too often, we have seen individuals selected, some or most without knowledge or experience, knows nothing about structure and order. They knows nothing about dispensation of basic common sense, and yet they are entrusted with serious responsibility to represent an entire constituency. The electoral district of Maisonneuve North Moriah deserves a leadership that is prepared, that is capable, that is competent, and is committed to all your needs. Brothers and sisters, this is not a popularity contest. A lot of people seem to believe that they go into office, they are given additional responsibility as a secretary or assistant secretary. And they totally forget the responsibility primary, which is belonging to your constituency first and foremost. No department has ever voted anybody into office. And you see them months before election, busy like bee up and down. If you put a hummingbird in front of you and you watch it whole day, you could never tell how many times it flaps its wings. They're busy up and down doing everything that is not important, and is not relevant, and is not life-changing to you. You have to keep focused, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be fooled by gimmicks. Do not be fooled by empty promises and misleading statements from this current TPP administration. In 2021, many promises were made and none was ever kept. The people of Tobago deserves honesty. We have worked too hard to bring this island to the state that it was, and in 4 years we've seen a constant deterioration of every single sector.
You dig, you dig, you dig, you dig.
Economic stagnation. The only tourism we have here is big trucks coming and money leaving. That is tourism. The people of Tobago deserves honesty. They deserve accountability. They continue to divide Tobago on financial language. Ladies and gentlemen, the issue is not money. The issue is service. There were days of our forefathers that we used to piggyback on each other's house. It was never about money. And all of a sudden, everything they preach to us is financial. We must not allow it to continue to fester and grow like mistletoe on the innocent people of Tobago. Your children's future depends on it. They have shown themselves time and time again over the last 4 years. Tonight, I stand here publicly and wholly to endorse and support my brother 𝐻𝐶 𝐍𝐈𝐆𝐇𝐄. I support him not because of convenience, but because of his commitment. It is not because of politics, but because of his tested character, his competence. I've seen his work. I know his heart. The people of Maestal North Morea knows the heart of 𝐻𝐶 𝐍𝐈𝐆𝐇𝐄. If you don't know your representative's heart, ladies and gentlemen, there is nothing else you can account for but the heart of 𝐻𝐶 𝐍𝐈𝐆𝐇𝐄. And to know a man, know his heart first, and you truly can see his correct essence. 𝐻𝐶 𝐍𝐈𝐆𝐇𝐄 understands that leadership is not about position. He remains humble. It's about responsibility. So when you support 𝐻𝐶 𝐍𝐈𝐆𝐇𝐄's brothers and sisters, you are supporting accountability. You are supporting integrity. You are supporting a leader who listens. You are supporting a leader who shows up. You will see him at your door. He will be in your phone. He will be in your face. I am proud to stand alongside 𝐻𝐶 𝐍𝐈𝐆𝐇𝐄. I am proud to stand along the other 14 candidates for the People's National Movement. And without hesitation, I say to the people of Maestal North Morea, do not sit at home and decide not to come out and vote. Do not sit at home and let other people make a decision for you. It is time to stand up and be counted Maestal North Morea. It is time to say to the people of Tobago, enough is enough, and we are definitely doing what is required to change the trajectory of the people of Tobago. Do not leave your future in someone else's hands. They talk about 21 years. There's a rhetoric nobody's preaching. The People's National Movement is 70 years old. 70 years old. '70 cannot go into 4, but 4 can go into 70 with remainder. With remainder. So let's not be fooled about 4 years and 21 years. It's not about years. It's about relevance and significance. It's about transformation. It's about taking this island through its most turbulent, difficult times. The People's National Movement has brought this island and the people of Trinidad and Tobago through the most difficult times in their life.
You dig, you dig, you dig, you dig.
And on the 12th of January 2026, when you wake up and you head to the polls very early, because going early means you make sure that your vote is counted. We are not leaving anything to chance. We are not watching the clock. We are saying we are going out early. We are taking our family members, because when you sit at home and you look at your son and your grandson, you know that the future hangs in the balance. We must go out and vote And we must vote resoundingly for the People's National Movement.
You dig?
PNM.
And it doesn't matter where you are in Tobago, you have 15 competent, capable standard bearers. And when the votes are counted on the night of the 12th, the people of Tobago will all come together and we will say together in one accord and acclaim that great is the PNM! Great is the PNM! Great is the PNM! And we have prevailed. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Right out there. A good friend of mine who told me we in big trouble in this country. This is Spain. UNC
New tune. New release.
And not see our MPs operating like dashboard puppies, talking plain. I can't vote for them boys again.
PNM.
To be on state boards in this country, your name have to sound like Paddy at talking plain. Not me and them boys again. I feeling the pain. I feeling the pain. I feeling the pain. I can't vote for them boys again. I feeling the pain. I feeling the pain. I feeling the pain. Not me and them boys again.
PNM family!
PNM.
Let's hear it for Dexter Miller.
PNM.
Dexter Miller! Let me say something very quickly. And I want to use this to bring the next speaker to the platform. You see, you all don't understand the outgoing representative of this electoral district. All I didn't hear what I say. The outgoing representative for this district. In the first budget debate, when he boasted that he's going to find a way to build 1,000 homes in one term, and Kelvin and Petal asked him, well, where are you getting the money from? You know what he said? Watch me work. We still watching. What we saw was that he jumped on trips. Imagine the man going to Grenada and St. Lucia and them place to learn to build house. To learn to build house. One of those trips, I remember crossing him in the airport. I was going, and a group from that same island was coming from Trinidad, learning how to run civil works and understand how to lay down plan for these people. Joking. They're joking. And to date, 48 months later, we are still watching, but we're not seeing no work. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not somebody that you could trust with your future. As I'm preparing now to bring on our next speaker, a young lady who is no stranger to Mason Hall, a young lady who now stands in the Parliament and in the Senate debating and standing on behalf of the people of Tobago. Let us raise our voices. Join our hands as we welcome Mason Hall, Senator Melody.
New face with new ideas. Just give me a rest with the argument about 21 years. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you that. I think guys, the man for me tells how good and lean on show.
DJ, if you continue playing that tune, they might throw me out the Parliament. Boy, I can't be there. Hey, Mason Hall people, good night.
PNM
people, good Listen, all you we looking good. I tell them Mason all was coming out and I watch all you big up on yourself. Ah, boy. All you remember a few months ago when they tried to tell us that PNM dead? Ah, boy, don't forget that the Balize is our symbol. No matter how you're cut we, born we, cuss we, feel you could chase we, try to belittle we just grow back, and we just grow back bigger and stronger and harder, and we gonna beat them hard. Ah, boy. All right. Before we start, let me start by acknowledging our political leader, the only political leader of the Tobago Council of the People's National Movement, and the next Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, the man himself, Ansel K. Dennis. All the hard-working, committed, and diligent members of the Tobago Council of the People's National Movement present tonight. Good night, big up yourself, thank you for being here. Of course, the minority leader, my brother, Mr. Kelvin Morris, been beating the ground every single day. And of course, every single brave, bold, red, and ready PNM supporter in our midst, as well as those who are tuned in via the various platforms. Good night to you. And of course, I save the best for, I forget my candidates. So the candidates in our midst, big up yourself, good night, welcome to the greatest district across Tobago, Mason Hall. And of course, I had to save the best for last. My brother and your next area rep, Mr. 𝐻𝐒𝐍, hard-working, productive, diligent, divine.
You dig.
PNM.
Now, PNM people, tonight, all you had to forgive me a little bit. All you done here. So I don't intend to preach to the choir tonight. I need to talk to a few other people out there. I need to talk to the undecided ones. The ones who have decided that this time they're not interested, they're disenchanted, they're not going to vote. These are the people that I want to engage tonight. So thank you for being here, but you're already ready, right? So I need to reach out to the people there who are listening, but I am too short. That is the people we had to touch at this point. Now, I know a lot of you are fed up. No, all you're good. Right? Them out there, I know a lot of you are fed up. And you feel like if nothing changes, your vote doesn't count. Year after year is the same old nonsense. You're getting promises. You got 4 years of promises, and up to now, nothing ain't come true. Well, at least you get 4 budgets, so I should say you get a little something. 6. It's 6 now. Oh, yeah, the AAC ones. Right, they get 6 budgets after the 4 years of promises. But I want to assure you, the undecided, the disenchanted, the uninterested voters out there, I want to assure you that your vote counts. Every single vote counts. Your vote represents the difference between an A&R Robinson International Airport that we can operationalize and use as Tobagonians, and an A&R Robinson International Airport that we cannot use because it's occupied by a foreign military. Your vote represents the difference between a peaceful Tobago and a Tobago that is on the brink of a war. Your vote represents the difference between a Tobago economy that thrives and one where all of our dollars are siphoned away and given to people that knows nothing about Tobago and who contributes nothing to Tobago. Your vote represents the difference between a Tobago, a Mason Hall, a Mariah, a Bagatelle, a Mount Grace, a Cudler Hall, who experiences gradual, incremental, but steady growth, and a Tobago where we have leadership that don't know whether or not they're coming or they're going. You see, the decision to vote or not to vote, or to vote for the wrong party, has far-reaching and long-lasting consequences. We recently had a general election in Trinidad, and we see what has been happening since April 28th. Every single time we think things cannot get worse, they carry we all the way below the ground. The government keeps hitting a new low after a new low. We live in it. We're seeing it. We are enduring it. And trust and believe when I tell you it is only going to get worse. but an olive branch has been extended to us here in Tobago. We still have the opportunity to make a change. We need to make use of the opportunity that has been granted to us. We have the opportunity to elect a THA executive that can act as a buffer between the right-thinking, God-fearing people of Tobago and the mad people that you see that have down there in Trinidad. We have the opportunity to elect a PNM-led THA that would stand in the gap for Tobagonians. Right now, there is no one standing in the gap for us. We have heard the admonitions, the cries, and the warnings of our brothers and sisters in Trinidad. They keep on pleading with us not to make the same mistake they made down there. They elected the UNC in Trinidad. We cannot afford to elect the UNC B- team here in Tobago. We need to be careful what we are doing.
You dig?
Tobago, we need to put our interests first. Old people like to say, dance a yard before you dance abroad. Like we some mind with business here in Tobago. You have seen the PNM's track record, and if it's one thing we cannot deny is that our island consistently progressed under the governance of the People's National Movement. And I will not stand here and pretend to you that we always got it right or that the PNM is picture perfect, but we have remained committed. We have had the opportunity now to compare. Pound for pound, you have seen what the alternative to the PNM is. Every single time we give somebody else the place to run, that has had to regret it because they cannot run it. Every single time, you give the TPP Tobago to run, they mash it up. We give Whitey Mason Olmara to run, he mash it up. Ah, boy, it's failure, right or wrong. Now it's the PNM had to go back in and fix things. But that is all right, because we are ready. And we love we island, we love we country, we love we Mason Olmara, we love we Bagatelle. And we will go in there and we will fix it. You will fix it. All of us will work together to fix it. They fix themselves. Tell me what a man who dealing with land and settlements doing traveling all around the globe. Land right here is here you have to deal with. You fix yourself and you leave your people undone. We have been given a candidate, and I am passionate about this. This is a man I can vouch for, Mr. 𝐻𝐻𝐶 𝐷𝐉𝐻𝐶. 𝐻𝐻𝐶 has been putting in the work. 𝐻𝐻𝐶 has proven himself. Today, I asked for a listing of 𝐻𝐻𝐶's achievements. And the listing had achievements with asterisks, and they had achievements with exclamation points. And when I asked for the difference, they said the ones with exclamation points are the ones he did out of office. He did it out of his own pocket. He went about and helped people. And when you see that list, my eye open wide, because that is a man who outside the office kept on going around that district and continued to help people out of his own pocket. He gave his last for Mason Hall, Mariah people. That is the kind of candidate that has presented himself to continue to serve us here in Mason Hall North, Mariah, and Tobago by extension. We cannot allow such an opportunity to pass. We have seen enough of what gives on the other side. Do not give the TPP and their friends, the UNC, another chance to mess all up here in Tobago. There is more at stake this time, and I fear we will not survive it. And now every single time that I think I'm going to stay away from that radar talk, I just end up having to speak on it. Because just yesterday, the media reported that there is increased activity, increased building, heightened activity happening down at our ANR International Robinson Airport around this radar. And in all my years, I have never seen such blatant disrespect, disregard, dishonesty, arrogance imposed upon people in Tobago. This goes beyond just a military base and a radar. Understand that. This is a very clear indication that those in Trinidad do not give one crap about us here in Tobago. They do not respect us here in Tobago. They think very little of us here in Tobago. And people will say that we are pushing an anti-Trinidad rhetoric, but that is not what it is. We have to mind our business here, and we have to see take what we see at face value, and we have seen how they are treating us. And what is worse is that our own chief secretary, a man who once talked about fighting so much for Tobago, he has signaled to us as equally as clear as his friends down in Trinidad that he has no respect for himself, he has no respect for the THA, and he has no respect for the people of Tobago. Understand that that military and that radar is a symptom of a much bigger problem. I want you to think about how much more is being hidden from us here in Tobago. Think about how much more is being done right under our noses without our knowledge or our consent. We have to think about our lands. We have to think about our quarry. We have to think about our businesses. We have to think about our properties. We have to think about our legacy. I shudder to think what we would become under a TPP/UNC alliance. I want you to ask yourself why for so many years the TPP continued to lie and hide about their relationship with the UNC. Tobagonians kept asking over and over, TPP, are you aligned with the UNC? And they kept saying no. And it wasn't until the April 28th elections, when the UNC won, that you finally see the truth coming out. All of a sudden, photos were surfacing. All of a sudden, we started to hear about what a great relationship they have with the UNC. And if they lied about that then, what makes you think they're not lying to us now? We have to ask ourselves, what deals have the TPP made with the UNC down in Trinidad that involves Tobago? Why is the UNC so interested in what happens with this THA election? Why did the Prime Minister need to come to Tobago to stand in our assembly legislature and shout about some anchor holding? Clearly, these people have a lot at stake, and we need to open our eyes. We need to not get caught up, because if right now UNC in Trinidad does not respect us, imagine what is going to happen to us after that January elections. Imagine how they're going to treat us if you put the TPP back there and they know they could get away and they have nobody to hold them to account. We need, it is a dire need. We need a people's national movement executive who will stand up and speak out for Tobagonians. I am telling you, I'm down in the parliament. We have 2 Tobago MPs in the parliament, and it's the most shameful, disappointing thing to sit down there. They told us they were going down there to fight for Tobago's autonomy. They were going down there to fight for us. Finally tell us what cabinet is for China. Their business is just to go down there and make sure that we all right here in Tobago. It has been 8 long months, and I am yet to hear either of those MPs stand up and raise a single issue about Tobago, about Tobago's autonomy, about Tobago's airport. Not a word about the issues affecting Tobago. Yes, they go for the money and the pay, and I can tell you firsthand what they do. They sit with the UNC. As a UNC MP opened their mouth to talk a bunch of caca, they thump the table and they laughing to me. When UNC votes one way, they vote the same way. They support the UNC. They are the UNC. And it's not that there aren't issues to be addressed here in Tobago. I sit in the Senate, and I have been raising issues Last year, we had 2 police-involved shootings in Tobago. I asked the Minister of Justice to account for what became of those police investigations into those shootings. I asked the Attorney General to come to the Parliament and let us know what their legislative agenda is, because we need to know whether Tobago's autonomy, whether we could expect our autonomy bill to be anywhere near the legislative agenda. When Tobago was crying out for water woes, I asked the relevant minister to come and account for how they intend to address the water woes that are affecting Tobago, especially as we go into the dry season. When the radar issue came up, I stood up in that Parliament and I knew I will take the blows. And I took my blows and I raised the issue of the radar, and every time they told me to sit down, I stood up again. And I raised the issue of the radar, and half of Trinidad tried to bury me, but I did not care because my back broad. And when coming to Tobago business, I will deal with Tobago business. I am not a sellout. In the PNM, we do not sell out. And I can go on with the examples, but this is not about Melanie. This is about the People's National Movement and how we continue to advocate for the people of Tobago, whether we are in office or out of office, whether we are in Trinidad or whether we are in Tobago, whether the topic is popular or whether it is not. Even if we have to take blows for it, the People's National Movement continues to stand in the gap for the people of Tobago. And I heard your outgrowing representative lying to the people of Tobago, lying to the people of Mason Hall, and telling us that the PNM central government was the reason why they failed to perform over the last 4 years. It's lie that wants you to ignore the $13 billion that they squandered. But you're big, and you have sense, and the figures do not lie. In 2022, the PNM central government gave them $300 million for development. And your development is your money you get to play with. That's your programs, your policies, any kind of thing you want to do on the island. You get that money. That's not earmarked for anything in particular. You could free up with that. Do things for your island, right? 2022, they got $300 million for development. 2023, again a PNM-led central government, gave them $260 million for development. And a few months later, during midterms, they got some more money for development. In 2024, PNM gave them $205 million for development. And what did they do with it? What do we have to show for it? 6-bar shed, 4 hot, 2 AC, very nice. Now in 2025, when their UNC friends come and give them $201 million, now note that this is the lowest ever allocation that they have received. The lowest. The UNC so loved them, yet as soon as they came into office, they gave the THA the lowest ever allocation that the Farley-led administration has ever seen for them to develop Tobago. Now, if you received $300 million 1 year, you receive $260 million another year. Another year you get $205 million, and you failed each year, failure after failure. You fail in 2022, you fail in 2023, you fail in 2024. Now you're coming to tell me 2025 into 2026, oh my gosh, all of a sudden we will succeed. Lie, that is a lie. They had the chance to develop this island. They had the opportunity to do things for Mason Hall and Mariah. They squandered every single cent back down to Trinidad. And what they didn't take and give their friends and financiers down in Trinidad, they travel with it, ham, lamb, and jam, and they put the rest in their pockets. Now you're coming here to tell us nonsense. Now I see they're dusting off all plans. The plans they plagiarized from the PDP, because TPP never developed no plan. TPP never contest any election. TPP never build no manifesto. So them plagiarize the PDP old plans, dust it off, and now come and put up one set of sign all over Tobago. Wasting printing, talking about, oh, now they're ready to develop Tobago. It's lies, dirty, blatant lies. We have seen what that collaboration with the UNC looks like, and it is a disgusting mix of deceit, betrayal, and pretense. The Prime Minister came to Tobago. She stood in our assembly legislature, and she told the people of Tobago that we do not need an autonomy bill. And our Chief Secretary sat there and he clapped. Correct. The Prime Minister reduced our budgetary allocation for development programs on our island, and our Chief Secretary stood there and he celebrated. The Prime Minister said this Chief Secretary, and by extension the people of Tobago, does not need to know what is going on its own island and what is going on with its own affair. And the Chief Secretary bowed down and said he agreed. The Prime Minister came on the media and said it doesn't matter what Farley think or want or prefers for Tobago. He has no say. And he ducked his head and he remained silent. It is clear as day, Tobago, that relationship between the UNC in Trinidad and this TPP/UNC B- team in Tobago is a parasitic one. That relationship is toxic. That relationship is exploitative. That relationship is sycophantic. And Tobago will do well to stay very far from it. We must reject it because it will never end well for us. And Mason Hall, Tobago, we need to ask ourselves why someone, a son of our soil, who claimed to love Tobago so much, someone who claimed to be completely independent of any Trinidad party, will now accept this type of denigrating and belittling treatment, even to the detriment of his own party and to the detriment of his own people. But you see, personal gain have a way of clouding a man's judgment. And the love of money and material things is the root of all evil. And some people, including our outgoing representative, when they get a little taste, they will sell their own, including their own soul, up the river to make sure they continue getting it. Now, I was on the truck today, so the voice like a raw. But I ain't done. I have things to talk. This is my village, and I'm among my people. I'm among friends and family, so I will talk. All right? And I need to segue for a little bit, and I need to deal with a little issue that happened right here. And this one goes to my core, because it concerns the outgoing representative's vindictive, wicked, and evil treatment of one of our very own, his own fellow Mason Hallian. And no, it is not my brand of politics. It is not my style to mount any platform and drag any public official. It is not something that I usually do. But Whitey needs to understand that you cannot and you will not be allowed to use your public office to victimize innocent people. And I want to know, how can you, as a sitting assemblyman, and very soon you'll understand where I'm going with this, the area representative for Mason Hall Mariah, elected by the people to serve all of us, not just some of us, not just those who put on a blue/yellow jersey. Every single one of us you were elected to serve without fear or favor. How would you go on a platform and accuse your constituent of being a squatter, a son of our soil, when one in whom we are well pleased? He has made a life for himself. This young man, he's living in a home that he has every right to occupy. He was given a home under the previous administration like any other Tibigonian, as it's his right to do. He applied for this home. He submitted his documentation. He crossed every T. He dotted every I. He did things the right way, and he waited and he waited, and he finally got his letter. And I have the letter here on my phone. I have the letter here on my phone. January 17, 2017, and I will not call the young man's name. Selection for housing at the Bleming Housing Development. This office takes the opportunity to congratulate you on being selected for housing at the Bleming Housing Development. This is a very important stage in the process of becoming a new homeowner, and we therefore take this opportunity to remind you of the following requirements that must be met. And then the letter listed the list of requirements that the young man needed to submit in order to complete the process for this housing that he had been qualified for. And this letter was duly signed by the administrator, not by a politician, by an unbiased administrator whose job it is to oversee these processes and make sure that they are fair and transparent. And following the receipt of that letter, I have the documents here where the young man proceeded to submit the requirements that the administrator listed out. So he paid and he submitted his valuation report. And he went to TTMF and he got his pre-approval for his mortgage. And he did every single thing he was supposed to do. Of course, we boy come in. And he decided to victimize this young man. So from the time he got to the Division of Settlements, this young man has been emailing, he has been calling, he has been messaging and saying, listen, I need to finalize this process. I have been approved for this home. I have done everything I need to do. I've spent my money on the documentation. I have done my part. I am qualified. Can we finalize the process? And your representative, your assemblyman, refused to accommodate that young man, blacklisted that young man, and did everything in his power to ensure that he did not complete his process. And then your area representative, and let me tell you something, this is not the story of this young man only, this is the story of many, many people, especially when you are suspected of supporting the People's National Movement. Plenty people here in this village, as you move through the village and you're talking to people, they will give you their stories about how they have been mistreated just because they will not put on a blue jersey and wave a blue flag. Your own people who you have been elected to serve without fear or favor. And your area representative got up on a platform, put that young man's business out there, and called that young man a squatter after he tried to remove the roof from over the head of a son of our soil and his family. That man has a wife and he has children. And then when that young man, still in the most humble and respectful way, messaged him to say, sir, actually no, I have my documentation. You forget I keep on coming to your office. I keep on trying to see you. He messaged back the young man and said, why are you messaging my phone? My God. Your constituent messages you with an issue and your response is to ask them, why are you messaging my phone? No. I want, and all right, that's what they're accustomed doing. Well, as they walk this week, what I want you to ask them is, why do you want my vote? Why do you want to continue to sit down in high office? Because why are you fooling the people and them talking about representation when it's you and your boys running one set of racket and ball across the division and across Mason Hall? Mason Hall, Mariah, and I saying it in big. When 𝐌𝐀𝐒 Pollard come in your yard, I want you to ask him why you're messaging me. When he asks you for his vote, I want you to tell him why you're bothering me. Because if you cannot represent all of we, then you can't represent none of we. And for those of you who he come this today and promised one of the 64 houses, on the eve of this election, for 4 years, you're not even dig a foundation, but you come on the eve of election to promise 64 houses. I want you to ask yourself if you could trust a man who is this petty. He might promise you now, and after the election, when you call him for him to make good on the promise, he might ask you, why are you messaging me? All right. And I'm coming to an end. So now I want to speak to the young people of Mason Hall, Mariah. It's here all that we born and grow. On a Friday evening, we parents used to send we down the road by Mr. O'Neill to buy meat. I don't know if all you remember that. To buy thing to make soup on a Sunday and to buy pork to cook on a... no, soup was the Saturday and pork to cook on the Sunday. And we used to go by Miss Daphne's shop and buy pack sweetie with 25 cents. Sometimes it's your collection money from church that you're chinks in to buy your pack sweetie. We were a traditional type of community. We held true to certain values, certain principles in this village. When I come here, when I walk around, when I go to see my mother in the pharmacy, when I go to see my grandmother up in Mason, or when I check in my people and then when I come to church, it hurts me. It hurts me to see what we have become. And 𝐊𝐿𝐶 has been walking for months, and for months, 𝐊𝐿𝐶 has been saying, Mel, why you ain't coming out with me? And 𝐊𝐿𝐶 just hurting me. It just hurting me to see what Mason Hall, my Mason Hall, has become. And it's even worse to see that there are so-called leaders, there are so-called representatives who encourage and who perpetuate this kind of lifestyle, this kind of behavior, because it's an easy vote. You get the young people and them the wrong kind of things, they go behind you and you get an easy vote. Young people of Mason Hall and Mariah, we are worth so much more. We are worth opportunities for agricultural development. We are worth opportunities for entrepreneurship. We are worth opportunities to interact and to fellowship in a positive way in this village. We are worth feeling safe in this village without our name featuring on the news for murders and other violent crimes. I am urging you to come back to your right self, to remember the upholding and the values that we grew up on, that we hold dear, that we hold true to ourselves as proud Mason Hallians and as proud residents of Mariah. We are not idle people. We are not delinquent people. That was never us. The People's National Movement has presented to you a very worthy candidate, an upstanding, honest, hard-working, forward-thinking, brilliant young man that is 𝐊𝐿𝐶 𝐷𝐉𝐻. If it's one person I can vouch for who firmly believes that the young men and young women of Mason Hall and Mariah have the capacity to excel if given the opportunity, it is 𝐊𝐿𝐶. He will come here shortly and he will tell you his plans for this electoral district. And we have absolutely no reason to doubt that he would deliver, because when he sat in the assembly, when he sat in the division of infrastructure, across these villages of Mason Hall and Mariah, we get touch up plenty time. He makes sure and he deal with we nice up here. 𝐊𝐿𝐶 is a man who know how to dance a yard before he dance anywhere else around Tobago. We have in Mr. 𝐊𝐿𝐶 𝐷𝐉𝐻 a good and decent and upstanding young man. Let us not allow this opportunity to pass us. Sandy River, I am urging you to vote for the People's National Movement. Alma Road, I am imploring you, get out and vote for the People's National Movement. Easterfield Road, Easterfield Trace, I am begging you, get out there and vote for the People's National Movement. Content Trace, your best bet is to vote for the People's National Movement. Belmont Road, I passed through you this evening. You will be way better off if you vote for the People's National Movement. Top Hill, you and all will get proper representation if you vote for the People's National Movement. Dennett Trace, number 1 and number 2. I'm begging you, get out there and vote for the People's National Movement. 2-step, you and all need to go out and vote for the People's National Movement. Northside Road, in case you ain't hear me yet. You need to get out there and vote for the People's National Movement. And once, my voice gone, so done. But once we have all gone out there and do that. Once we get up early, as we boy Dexter Miller tell us to do, and we get up and we go to our polling stations and we fix we business and we make sure that we put we X by the Balize and by the Balize and by the Balize and nowhere but the Balize. Next week, all like now, sir, for today's Monday, so all like now, sir, next week, we coming down here and we roasting our pig and all are we boiling. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. And we have prevailed.
PNM, right out here.
You dig?
A good friend of mine, he told me, we in big trouble in this country. This is Spain, UNC in power again. Some and not see our MPs operating like dashboard puppies, talking plain. I can't vote for them boys again. To be on state boards in this country, your name have to sound like Paddy, I talking plain. Not me and them boys again. I feeling the pain, I feeling the pain, I feeling the pain. I can't vote for them boys again. I feeling the pain, I feeling the pain, I feeling the pain. Not me and them boys again.
Performance appraisal tonight, Mason Hall. Performance appraisal tonight. And when you do a job, the people who hire you entitled to come and ask you, what did you do? Whether you pass or you fail. So performance appraisal tonight. Accountability. I ain't hearing all you, man. All of Tobago out here, what Mason all think of this man? Accountability, fail. Presence, fail. Performance, fail. And this is the big one, re-election, fail.
Right out.
You're not coming back here. I am going to introduce the next speaker with a scripture. These are 6 things the Lord doth hate. Somebody say it. Yeah, 7 are an abomination. A proud look. A lying tongue. Hands that shed innocent blood. A heart that deviseth wickedness and wicked imaginations. Feet that swift to run mischief. A false witness that speaketh lies and soweth discord. This representative that outgoing check nearly all them boxes. We are to fire him.
Right out here.
Join with me as we bring another son of the soil who will come to us tonight to continue to say why we should have 𝐊𝐶𝐍 as the representative and expose this wicked administration. Lawrence, Islam.
You dig?
This election coming, Tobago take warning. This election coming is a serious thing. Bali and Sasa want to make a success. Tobago and PNM, we have a surprise for them. We can't just Bali, leader of TDP. We can't just Fedi, she cuss everybody. We can't just Zorisha, she just a poser. If we have to deal with them, vote for the PNM.
PNM people, good evening. And look at people. Mason Hall, Mason Hall, Mason Hall, North Moriah. All you looking good. Let me acknowledge the political leader the only political leader. We have one political leader, not two. One. The brother they call Ansel K. Dennis.
You respect that?
And the next Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly. Let me acknowledge the presence of the minority leader, Brother Kelvon Morris. The candidate and the returning area representative for Darrell Spring Wim. A man who has fought tooth and nail for Tobago. When they thought that we didn't have a fighter, Kelvon proved to them that we could fight you even with one. Every single candidate in this election, I acknowledge and honor your willingness to serve. But tonight belongs to a man from Mason Hall, Devines Road, Moriah, because he belonged to both communities. Make some noise for Brother 𝐊𝐿𝐶 Devines. You know, whilst I'm acknowledging my brother, it has somebody who say, 𝐊𝐿𝐶 don't like me, and I don't like 𝐊𝐿𝐶. They fast and out of place. If they know 𝐊𝐿𝐶 and I's story, we grew up right next to each other, right in one house and them on the main road. And I could tell you, that man is 100 times better than the joker they have currently as the representative of Mason Hall Moriah. And you know they're going to want to say all kind of things about me and 𝐊𝐿𝐶, but let me tell you something. You see that fella they have in charge or the rep for Mason Hall Moriah? He not good.
Right out there.
He not good.
Right out there.
Now I know the Bible says no man is good, no not one. But here's some of them who really not good. But I'm going to deal with you in a little bit. I want to acknowledge that young lady who went before me, quiet, sober, intelligent, but don't mix matters. PNM know how to produce brilliant and good-looking women. Make some noise for Senator Melody.
You dig?
And also, we on good-looking PNM women, so of course we have to acknowledge the former member of Parliament for Tobago East. I don't share all and I big up, but make some noise for Ayana. You know, brothers and sisters, I stand here tonight with real pride because listen, 4 years ago, I was the standard bearer for this electoral district. And we know how things worked out 4 years ago. Mason Hall Moriah people made a decision. The man had 5 years in office. And you want to know he had 5 in the 6-6. He had the seat. And then he come and he get a full term because he tell the people, I only had a year, so I couldn't do nothing. So give me 4 years and I go show you performance. I want to ask every single resident of Mason Hall, North Moriah, if you are supposed to rate Ian Pollard's tenure as your area representative, what grade are you giving him, Mason Hall?
Right out there.
Because it's right here all the way from. Right here we're from. And I could tell you there has been zero development in this district under the tenure of 𝐌𝐀𝐒. Bad roads. The only thing 𝐌𝐀𝐒 must be building Mason Hall is some dustbin. We all right. We're happy for the public dustbin and them. But come now, man. We'll be honest. We'll be honest. You put up all kind of big billboard during the election to say you're going to build fire station, ATM. What is the next one? Gas station. And nothing. And then you have a level of vindictiveness that I have never seen before. And I could give my own story, you know. Because me and the man was good, you know. We used to talk to each other. We used to do work for him and thing. Down in Annersville. We used to pick him up on mornings and thing. We're going down the road together, we all talking. But from the minute I made a decision to be a PNM candidate, Whitey does want to pass me straight on the road. Me are looking for friends, you know. But I know Masonol people have manners. And you see this story Melanie tell tonight is true story. It's real thing. You're traumatizing families because of your vindictiveness, because what? Because for some reason PNM do you something. Last night in Moriah, the lady who likes to tear down flags stood up in Moriah and said that if we compare the first 4 years at the PNM to the first 4 years at the TPP, the beat we coming and going. Well, yeah, what going on? And then there was a lady I saw on a thread that said, when somebody talk about the Mason Hall government primary school, the lady said that bill eons of years ago. I'm from Mason Hall. And I could tell you with all assurance that Orville London, Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, in the 2001 to 2005 term in office, built the Mason Hall government primary school from scratch.
You dig?
Because you see, brothers and sisters, I had an intimate understanding of that. Because I had a child going to Mason Hall government at the time. The PTA president was my wife at the time. And they staged a protest. Shut down the school. Shut down the school because the school had fleas and all kind of things. Shut it down. They put them in an annex next to the community center. And a brand new school, they demolished the old school. The school where people like Dr. Rowley and I think Miss Dennis and them went to. And Miss Jean and them, if I know. They break down that school and built a brand new school. They want to talk about performance. What they building in 4 years? What they building in 4 years? Oh God. I happy for the people from country who traveling via bus, you know. But you know what them fellas tell me? Bus drivers telling me, yeah, we good with the bus shed with the air condition, but what sense it make when we don't have no bus? That were bus drivers telling me, you know. They say, yeah, we happy for the bus shed and them. But what sense that making when you don't have no bus? Them boy tell me one bus I walk at Tobago right now. One I go country. Them I share the bus between Charville and Lansome. One bus. But you build bus shed. Well, all right. I could understand why they're building the bus shed with air condition. Because I know the people have to wait a little longer.
You dig?
But what is heart-rending for me is that before the chief secretary became chief secretary, the man used to travel by the bus. And so he, of all people, should understand the plight of the residents of that district and the Far East districts, the rural districts. He should understand the plight. And talk to your friends and them down in Trinidad. Because it don't matter what you're telling me, you know. Everybody see that your blue is yellow. And your yellow is blue. And so you might as well just come out and own up to the fact that yes, we are an arm of the UNC. We got respect you for that. But when you're trying to fool people and telling people you ain't part of the UNC, but everything that's going on, and Melanie said it, them fellas thumping this and voting for everything that the UNC do. So when you get a $2,000 ticket because your brakes light and work, blame Tomo and blame Nazi. Because Mason Hall Secondary, also under Orville London. The Punchbowl Road, also in the first term under Orville London. Because Mason Hall people know that there was a disconnect between Sandy River and Alma Road. That was past there. You had to run through Cow Hole and thing to come over on grounds. And Orville London and the P&M built proper road from Sandy River to Mason to Alma Road. But you want to come and say, P&M and do nothing in 4 years? Ride out with the whole talk. Ride out here. And then the Mason Hall Lekato Road. I staying in the district, you know. The Mason Hall Lekato Road. First term. Under the P&M. And you want to tell us that's the same road me and the man used to drive down to go Annosville. And they want to come and say, P&M and do nothing in 4 years. That is just the first term of P&M in Mason Hall, you know. First term, you know. And then under people like 𝐻𝐒, when 𝐻𝐻𝐶 was secretary, well, walk so much, watch man, people in Spice Lane up in Top Hill. People up in Spice Lane up in Top Hill could tell you, in order to get to house, you had to walk track. That if you slip off in the night is gully. Who you think build road in Spice Lane? 𝐻𝐻𝐶 Divine. Over 50 to 100 people benefit from a road. Spice Lane where they say road couldn't go. That's P&M. That's P&M delivery. So when you hear the lady, I see them make a video. See them make a meme. All right. I see them make a meme. So when I see the lady, tell the lady, talk sense. If you can't talk sense, keep quiet. Yeah? And then if you go Hope, I don't know if some of you all old enough to remember the Hope stretch on Hope Beach. When you come down by the bridge and them, you have to wait. You have to park up and wait. Some of the things are taken for granted in Tobago. P&M, you know. You used to come down by the bridge by Hope. When you come down John Dial, you park up by the bridge. If a next car coming down or if a truck coming down, you have to wait. It was a one-way bridge. P&M again. And the reality is, that road took lives, you know. Because people dead on that bridge. When men couldn't wait. And what you have now is proper highway on that little stretch there because let us be overtaking 3 and 4 vehicles going down the road. Like somebody they're good. But that is the reality. That is development. So when you want to come and say that you want to compare your 4 years where you did nothing, $13 billion, brothers and sisters. You tell a man who I don't really listen to, but he like to say, boop, boop, boop. You know the man. $13 billion came to Tobago, brothers and sisters. What have you gotten? When we break down the maths, that is about $200 and something thousand per citizen. You feeling that? You might not feel it in your pocket, but you're feeling it in development. And that's the reality we're facing here. And these people are coming and asking you for another term. The chief secretary say a good term deserves another. Yeah, that's true. That's why the P&M get 4. Because one good term deserves another, and another, and another, and another. But we got news flash for you. You ain't have a good term. So you don't deserve another. Because the things that you have done to Tobagonians are things Tobagonians do not deserve. The level of malice and hatred. You cannot even wear a red t-shirt without them saying something negative about you. Your job on the line if you say you is P&M. They want to put you out the house if they know you is P&M. And they want to tell you that we love you. You know, I ain't going to be long tonight because we come here to hear 𝐻𝐻𝐶. But there's a reason why you cannot re-elect Ian Whitey Pollard. The P&M knew who we wanted in Mason Hall North Moriah. Long time. When you have a situation where an incumbent is fighting for his life in his own party, that is enough reason, brothers and sisters, to know that the man not good. Because if your leader don't want you, why are you coming by we? We followed the thing and was tooth and nails right down to the wire. I saw the man quaking. He come down, pay a whole side to come down the road to make him look like people like him. I saying to people in Mason Hall, North Moriah, you didn't vote for the PNM in 2021. You asked for Barabbas. And you get your Barabbas. And you see what Barabbas gave to you. 𝐊𝐿 and Jesus. But the man loved people. The man have a kind heart. The man caring. He walking as a child of God. It are no Satan children over here.
You dig?
And so when you go into the polling station, from Mason Hall Secondary and Mason Hall Primary and Moriah Government and Runnymede, make sure, and Moriah Community Center, make sure you put the X by the Balize for 𝐻𝐶
PNM.
And I want to talk to the disgruntled TPP supporters in Mason Hall because I know it's at them. I know it's a plenty of them.
Right out here.
No, we don't want them right out. We don't want the disgruntled ones to ride out. It doesn't matter. 1, 2, who cross. You see, on election day, all you cross over the Jordan, man.
PNM.
Come over to Macedonia.
PNM.
You dig?
If you're disgruntled with 𝐌𝐀𝐒 as your area representative, give 𝐻𝐿 your vote.
PNM.
You respect that?
And if for some reason you still don't want to vote for the PNM, it is your civic duty to your civic right, your choice. Let me put it that way. Your choice. If you were going to vote for the TPP, and you ain't happy with 𝐻𝐿, and you ain't really sure about the PNM, although I tell you the PNM is the only choice. But if perchance, you're not sure, and I'm talking to some people wrong in Punch Bowl who I know personally. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying. I'm talking to some people, a whole family wrong in Punch Bowl. If you're disgruntled with 𝐻𝐿, come over to Macedonia, man.
PNM.
You respect that?
PNM.
Because I know he treat all you bad. I know. Because that is the... All right, let me move on. Very quickly. In Bethel, I talk about a thing, about a hotel up in Speyside. And I hear somebody tell me that before the meeting could even finish, when the people went on the second meeting, the chief secretary jumped up on the platform and say, you hear me talking about a hotel, we don't know how to run the place. Well, I want to tell my good brother that let me tell you something. We know how to run the place. We certainly don't have a chief secretary who is going to write to an entity that was not involved in the procurement process to tell them that this is what's going on, you're getting our heads up. We don't have a chief secretary that will do that. And so we know how to run the place, we know how to run it properly. The problem is that we give only the place to run, and all can't run it.
Right out.
Because a man by the name of Patrick Augustus Mervyn Manning said, PNM does make governance look easy. So everybody feel that they could do the thing. But the father of the nation and the father of the PNM said that anything other than the PNM is chaos and confusion, brothers and sisters. And for the last 4 years, all we have gotten is chaos and confusion.
You dig?
You come in under one flag. Take the man whole party and go with it. Hijack the man whole party. And then come in to tell me, you know how to run this thing? And so, I want to ask the same questions that I asked on Saturday night to the Chief Secretary. Was this company that you wrote to one of the entities that is company A or B in the procurement process? And if they were not, how are they now involved in the process? If they did not take part in the procurement process to run Manta Lodge, how you, as the Chief Secretary, when you have a board in place, how you could write to the entity and say to them, we're moving Manta Lodge to EID court. So everything will get squared away. That's what the man let us say. And I showed the letter Saturday night. And the reality is, brothers and sisters, that hotel is losing money every single month, because I told you on Saturday night that one man, one activist for the TPP booked out 6 rooms on the 21st. He alone. 6 rooms when they had the meeting up in Space Island. And the understanding, the information that we have is that not a cent was paid for one of the rooms. But every month, staff had to get paid. You had to buy drinks to the bar, and we get to understand that at one point in time, they even lose the liquor license in the hotel, and you're telling me you know how to run this thing? You know how to run it into the ground? I also want to ask, based on the conclusion and recommendation by the evaluation team, was the process concluded without result, and was it reissued and subject to necessary amendments? Just answer the question and then now don't come and tell me nothing, but you know how to run this thing. But you see, the problem is that he can't answer the question because he know he tampered with the process. That is all right. I go take the blows. From the minute I put on a PNM jersey, I know I go get blows. And that is all right. And why is I close? I want to say something in Miss Snall, because he's here born and here grow. You know, it has some of them like to say, every time Lawrence mount a platform, but you know Adventist. Is Adventist? Adventist. I born and grow in the church. My mother and my father met me as an Adventist. But the difference between me and others is that me coming up on the platform. I may not be a good Adventist, by not coming on the platform and calling all people all kind of name and telling the Chief Secretary, telling the former Prime Minister, shout at Tobago business, mind your business. Have some manners, man. Have some manners.
You did.
I am proud to be a Christian. I am proud to be a Seventh-day Adventist Christian. And I am proud to be an Adventist PNM. Because here was some of them telling me. Come over and join your brother. I good ways. And so, brothers and sisters, with the level of mismanagement, the level of corruption, the level of bad mind, the level of vindictiveness, you have a secretary standing up on a platform in a meeting, a public political meeting, and saying to the residents of Tobago, I have the right to give out 25 homes. And I'm giving them this week. House on that bill. We're giving them bullshit. You have the right to give who you want. You are seeking votes. That's what you're doing. You're trying to buy people vote by telling them, I promise you a house. I want to tell Tobagonians, not take no key from Ian until he build a house. And then even when he build a house, the woman down in Milford Court get a house and they'll lose it. The level of spite and vindictiveness that has been meted out to the people of Tobago and the people of Mason Mariah. And then they want to come and say they cut in your yard to make things look nice. People, you ain't vote for the PNM in 2021. You see what you get. Give 𝐻𝐶 𝐍 your vote. Every single PNM and every single disgruntled TPP vote for 𝐻𝐶 𝐍. And so it matters not. No, me call him back home, nobody. You want to go? Right. Make no mistake, brothers and sisters. You see Monday coming? Monday coming is serious business. Serious, serious, serious business. Understand what you're playing with. Understand that this is the future of your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren you're playing with. Because if they've destroyed this island in 4 years, just imagine what's going to happen if you give them another 2. Don't make that mistake. Don't make that mistake. They tell you give them a chance. They're new. They're fresh. You've seen what that chance is. Your life is not play away and pick 2 and lotto. Do not take chance with your life, people of Masonol North Mariah. And for those who from Masonol South, because they give part of Masonol to my brother Dexter. So the people down in Sandy River and Croton Lane and Spence Trace and Kokowati. Let me tell you something. You see what Natisha Gill? Have a thing to talk. We can talk that another time about a particular road down in Kokowati. Know what all you're doing. And so, brothers and sisters, come Monday, get up early. As I said in another place, you ain't even at the bed. Just wash your face, brush your teeth. Find yourself by your polling station. Make sure that you're in your right senses. And you don't need an ID card to vote. You don't need an ID card to vote. Once your name on the register, you can vote. Go down to the polling station. Whether it be Masonol North Mariah for 𝐻𝐶, whether it be Masonol South Bagatelle for my brother Dexter, whether you're from Palativale Lansumi Space Side for Maxlon because we need to cut off the head of the snake. If you're down in Bonaccord Compound for Dominic, you're inside Plymouth Bethesda or Bethesda Lekato for Akil. You're down inside Plymouth Golden Lane. What I call it? Plymouth Black Rock for Karen 4. Wherever you are, Darryl Spring Wim for Kelvin Morris. Scarborough Mount Grace for Petal Daniel Benoit. We're going again. Wherever you find a PNM, we're going up in the east. Belgarden for Carl McEwen. Roxborough Argyle for Shoney John. Kamisha in Goodwood. Yeah, come on, man. Wherever you find a PNM candidate, vote, 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 vote resoundingly for the people's national movement. Great is our God. Great is our God. Great is the PNM, and we shall prevail. Right outside.
This election coming, Tobago take one. This election coming,
PNM.
is a serious.
DJ, pull it up, pull it up. Pull it up, DJ. We want to keep the fire burning tonight. You see, because we exposing Ian, the victimizer Pollard tonight. We exposing them. As I introduce the next speaker, I will do so with a true story. There was a lady who was promised a house by the same victimizer. That lady is blind. Say blind. That means she cannot see. And she lives at the time in a little box. And these wicked people tell that woman, we're going to give you a house. And they carry she down Milford Court. And they had a big ceremony. They call courts. They tell them bring furniture. They tell she that is yours. They call standards. They tell them bring more thing. They tell she that is yours. They get a key big so. They hand it over to the lady. She didn't know where to hold it. When she put she hand in it, they say that is yours. But as the cameras come off, clicks, they take back everything and send the woman back home in the little box she was living in. These people are wicked. If it wasn't for the minority leader and the minority counselor who exposed the plot and put it out there, they called it threaten the woman and all, and then the thing go viral. That is how she get that house, ladies and gentlemen. And Ian, the victimizer Pollard, presided over that wickedness. We must get rid of him.
Right out of here.
Right out.
Right out of here.
They don't deserve your vote.
Right out of here.
As I bring to the platform, the man who team keep growing every night. The man who stood for 4 years. The man who give them fight. Say give them. He give them fight every single month, every day, every week, every year for 4 years. The minority leader and the next assemblyman for Darrell Springwim, Mr. Kelvin, the dancer man Morris.
Sometimes I fall to my knees and pray. Yes, come Jesus, come.
You dig?
Let today be the day. Sometimes I feel like I'm gonna break, but I'm holding on to a love that won't fade. So come, Jesus, come. We've been waiting too long for the day you return to heal every hurt and right every wrong.
Mason all, good night. Mariah, good night. PNM family, good night. Permit me to recognize our political leader and the candidate for Bukumong Pleasant, and of course, the next Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, Brother Ansel K. Dennis. Your standard bearer here in Mason Hall North, Mariah, the man who is going to take all the white off of Whitey, Brother 𝐻𝐿𝐻 Devine.
You dig?
Permit me to recognize all 15 standard bearers of the People's National Movement across the length and breadth of Tobago. Of course, we heard from our current senator, Mrs. Melanie Roberts Rajman, and the man that set the place on fire. And they really say when man home, when man a yard, man bad, he bad, he bad. Former Senator Lawrence Hislop, I'm seeing so many former assembly members in our midst, and I want to recognize each and every one of you. I want to salute you for carrying the banner of the People's National Movement and all the development that you would have brought to Tobago over the last 21 years. Of course, I want to recognize each and every one of you, and it seems as though every night the crowd just keep getting larger and larger and larger, and it tells me that you here in Tobago, you are prepared to put Tobago first again. So when I say TPP, I want to hear say ride out. TPP, ride. 𝐌𝐀𝐒, 𝐹𝐺, ride out here. 𝐶𝐒𝐻, ride out here. 𝐍𝐸𝐴, ride out here. 𝐵𝐻, ride out here. And the rest of them, ride out here.
You dig?
This is ride out season. No, we ain't calling him Keegan no more. Judas, ride out here. Brothers and sisters, I must admit to you, it warms my heart, because I can tell you it has not been an easy last 4 years. And you know, it had many days Petal and I will be in the house there. And we felt sometimes as if, you know, like we were alone at times. As if the messages, like we would speak, but like it was going on deaf ears. And you would see them in the house, ranting and raving and laughing and having a good time. And sometimes I'm asking myself, especially when we bring serious issues, when we are trying to find out from them, you all are saying Tobago is we, but how come are you taking our money, we money, and just giving it away to contractors in Trinidad while Tobagoans are here suffering? When we bring questions and we are saying, as we walk the length and breadth of Tobago, you are seeing the young fellas on the block, and the conversation on every block is that young fellas, they want a walk, and they can't get a walk. But yet you are hearing $300 million going in the hands of one contractor. And when you keep asking them, how is this happening? Don't you have a policy to at least protect Tobago people money? And the answer is always no. And then you are looking even now. Taxes has gone up. The Prime Minister has introduced something called the rental property tax. And you know here in Tobago, we flourish on tourism. And many of us, we have converted our downstairs, renting a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom. And now the Prime Minister is coming to tell us that we now have to pay a tax of over $2,500 and then a percentage quarterly. And you're asking yourself, where is 𝐹𝐺? Silent. Talk now. 𝐹𝐺 can't talk. 𝐹𝐺 has sold his voice for UNC financing. And if you look at their campaign, you are seeing the evidence of that. They have ham. Well, one man alone had 1,000 ham. I say he alone had a factory. And turkey. They have ham, lamb, jam. They have vouchers. They have money. They have toys, bicycle. Imagine right next door to me, I see them lifting out big screen TV and all. 50-inch, 60-inch, 75-inch. And all what that is the millions and millions and millions that they have stolen from you, the people of Tobago. And I'm saying, tell 𝐌𝐀𝐒, 𝐹𝐺, Pothole Trevor, and the rest, they had a good time, all their teething up. It's time for you to pack up all your traps and all your belt on yourself and ride out of here. Ride out of here.
You
They're
dig?
wicked. And they're wicked, bad. And I hear Zorisha talking about 15-0. And I'm saying to you, if we saw them 14-1 and we see how bad it was, if we take God out of the thought and give them people a 15 seats, then I say crapo, smoke, all our pipe. And whatever we get is whatever we should take. Because if you are seated in the big broad daytime, why you all take Bully Fair for go see tonight? And we see what they have done to us. You are seeing what they have done to the people in the contract, all the contract workers in the THA. As soon as they came in, the ink didn't even dry properly after they took an oath to serve without fear or favor, malice or ill will, and treat all of us fairly. All of a sudden, the same chief secretary who promised that no contract worker would lose their job, that same young man turned around and fired contract workers left, right, and center. But I told you all that I am working on him because I believe I have the cure for diabetes. And last night, I saw proof that the cure is working because last night he went on a platform and it's the first time I hear he speak the truth. He said that the man we have from Buku, Ansel Dennis, will share a good cut skin on Keegan the Noon. And I hear Trevor. Well, I hear he say he got exposed me about some conversation I went up, which is public knowledge. And you know what is the beauty about that conversation? I was invited to talk to workers. And I went there and I didn't even tell them who to vote for. I simply told them, I said, you are working with a private company who is getting a number of opportunities from the state, and therefore, you need to vote in your interest. Many of them, they didn't listen to me. They recorded it, they sent it out for Bacchanal, and a few moments later, that company ended up being blacklisted, and you know what? All of them went home. And you know what? Many of them called me thereafter and said, Kelvin, you know we should have listened to you. So I was vindicated. I told them the truth, but they lied to them. And they ended up feeling it in their own pocket. Because while they were saying they will treat with all contractors fairly, that same chief secretary turned around and then blacklisted all the contractors. Up to June of 2022, he promised was to pay them. Imagine he gave them a date, a confirmation date, and then all of a sudden, he came with this bogus audit and decided he would not pay them. Up to this day, we have been asking Farley, bring the audit at your take Tobago people money and let all of us see the audit. Farley keep hiding the audit. But 4 years later, Trevor, with all the information, you couldn't cause any investigation. But because an election is on the cusp, and now all you're under pressure, you're now saying you're going to jail. Trevor, all of a sudden he turned police. So he gonna jail Ansel, and he gonna jail 𝐻𝐿. But all I will tell Trevor, I invite you to take those matters to the police because you'll make the police life very easy because I'm sure you're not coming out from there. Because you see, unlike them, we don't wild them at all. And I can guarantee you, there are matters in front of the Anti-Corruption Investigative Bureau with respect to that same gentleman, Pothole Trevor. Because you see, I want to share with you quickly before I come off, because I don't want to be long and I lose in my voice. And I want to save some for Thursday. But you see this wicked Pothole Trevor? Right out there. Pothole Trevor decided that he will build 4 roads. And when wicked Pothole Trevor, who told us about the devastating effects and impact of taking Tobago people money and blacklisting Tobago contractors and giving it to Trinidad contractors, and how that will destroy the economy, and how that will build another economy, and how that will cripple Tobago. That same Pothole Trevor not only gave away your money, but he also did something else. Because within the THA, within the Division of Infrastructure, there was established bonded rates to which you paid contractors for paving road. But you know what Trevor did? Pothole Trevor went and inflated the cost and made everything twice as expensive. So if you were paying $1,400 per ton for asphalt to supply and install hot mix, under Pothole Trevor, they were now paying $2,700 per ton. And I will tell you the real effects of that. Because when a road under the previous PNM would have cost a total of $12,548 million, under wicked Pothole Trevor, that road cost you, the Tobagonian taxpayer, $16,791,820. That is a difference of over $4.5 million. But it gets worse. You see, Pothole Trevor found a company, a roofing contractor. The man never built a road in his life yet. All he knows to do is pour and galvanize on house. But Pothole Trevor found that man somewhere in central Trinidad and brought that man here to pave a road and gave him a contract for over $54 million. But you know, if Pothole Trevor had used the rates what we were paying under the previous PNM, that road that cost $54 million would have cost only $36.1 million. That is a difference of over $18.5 million. And when we tell you they took our money and spirited away, they spirited away in a real sense. Because when you did the analysis over all the roads, those roads combined, based on their rates, cost us over $309 million. Under the PNM rates, those roads would have cost $203 million. That is a difference of over $105 million. That Pothole Trevor and they would have ensured, they spirited away, that they would have ensured went into the hands of their Trinidad financiers. So understand, when you see they're spending money, take it because it's your money. Understand, when they play they're buying fridge and they're buying stove, they could do that because they have $105 million in profit, excess money, kickbacks that they are enjoying at this time. And that is why I tell you, it is time to tell Pothole Trevor, wicked Whitey, and Liat Farley, it's time for you all to ride out.
You dig?
Ride out. These people, they have destroyed our tourism sector. Just today, I received a message from someone in the tourism sector. And it reads, "My family business is suffering immensely as a result of cancellations by annual guests that spent 3 to 4 months due to the winter conditions. And they're saying if we didn't own our business outright, we would have been closed by now. And they simply said they don't feel, because the people then decided, the reason when they asked them why they're not coming, hear what they had to say. They said they simply don't feel safe coming to Tobago given the tension so close and the fact that we have the radar. So they said they are going somewhere else.
Wow.
And these are Germans, Italians, and Canadians. So brothers and sisters, we are in fact in some serious times. At this time of the year, our tourism numbers would close, at least in 2019, it was about 19,000 visitors. You know what the numbers close at this year? Somewhere around 13,000. That is a decline of over 6,000 visitors.
Wow.
And you could understand what that means in real dollars and cents. You could imagine what that means for the hotels who have to pay staff. That is workers having to go home. That is all the service suppliers, the suppliers who have to supply different goods and services. They too will feel the pinch. And therefore, this is a rescue mission, brothers and sisters. This is bigger than red, white, or black, or blue. And I heard Lawrence appealing to his various villagers in Mason Hall that if you're vexed with the TPP, come over to Macedonia. I am simply saying, if you're vexed with the TPP, vote for the PNM. Because we have to ensure that we rescue Tobago. Tobago has been mismanaged, and it is not a question of whether they have the money, because they have received the highest allocation over a 4-year period, over $13 billion. And what is even more instructive is that they received an increase year on year on year on year. Every year they received an increase. What we have experienced over the last 4 years is not a money problem, but it is a management problem. And when you have a situation where you have a Faith Brebner who so shamelessly mismanaged the procurement of ambulances to the point where $18 million have been spent, a further $10 million spent to lease, and we still can't get the ambulance yet. And imagine one of those ambulances, I will tell you the location, just drive through Friendsfield, and you would see one of those supposed to be new ambulance, parked up in a little piece of bush. Your $1.5 million parked up, and you can't get to use it. And that secretary has not yet come to you and given you an explanation. In any serious country, that secretary would have been fired. And I'm saying to you, brothers and sisters, since Farley cannot fire she, it is incumbent on us on January the 12th up in Belgarden to tell Faith B. Israel Bremner, wherever she be now, it is time for you to pack up your things and ride out. TPP, ride out. Farley, ride out. Judas, ride out. Down in Canaan, ride out. Up in Rim, ride out. Down in Puku, tell all of them, ride out. And in closing, I hear what he named it, Patrol Trevor, say he have a family that is sending to move me out in Wim. But I have one message for him. You don't send 𝐶𝐶 to fight a yardie.
You dig?
So in Wim, we love Rikina, but it's licks, 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 and more licks. So brothers and sisters, we're looking good, we're sounding good, We platform always of substance and always of information. But this is not enough. It requires us to go out in the highways and the byways, talk to a friend, talk to a family, and ensure that wherever we are on January the 12th is victory after victory, win after win, and we all will sing and shout triumphantly when we all win. Great is our God. Great is Tobago and its people. Great is the PNM, and we have prevailed. Thank you.
Destroy the assembly when them a bring to the table. If I talk alone, we not able. Every day I go wrong, I tell fable. Them a dead horse in a race, they not able. When them a bring to the table. A fire's dark, they not stable. Nothing a worse is a take over. Tobago anchored in a cycle game over. December 6 people in vote with a vengeance. But they never know them a send a death sentence. Put in the team, what I say, they will fix this and every target them a miss. Now we like get hard cause them a break the economy. Driving a car that don't work out to people. Now is the time for stand up for all of it. And take back the assembly where them a bring to the table. If I talk alone, we not able. Every day I go wrong, I tell people. Them a dead horse in a race, then as able.
Let's hear it for Kelvin Morris, our very successful former minority leader and our returning assemblyman for Darrell Spring, Wim. Let's hear it, PNM people. You see, let me give you all a secret. There was a point in time where they said that the PNM is dead. There was a point in time when this campaign began that they say PNM frightened. But brothers and sisters, what they don't understand is timing. The Bible says, in the fullness of time. And now they're running every single day to add another meeting. Now they're running up and down, fighting to take down PNM flag. Now they're running up and down, trying to give out self-help grant. But we will not be fooled. Because we have a team, 15 strong, who have as their mantra to put Tobago first again. As we get ready to welcome the standard bearer that is going to give life to Mason Hall, North Mariah. He is going to elevate this electoral district. He will cause young men to come off the blocks. He will cause young men to open businesses. He will cause farmers to produce like they never see before. Join us this evening as we welcome to the podium Mr. 𝐻𝐿. Mr. 𝐻𝐿. Blessings overflow. Oh!
Tell them to claim it. All of my blessings, my name it. With faith, me, I go own it. Nothing shall get home it. Speak life, it is a new day. All things in my past, yeah.
Blessings overflow.
Yeah, me step out in faith and no fear. Blessings go find me, yeah.
Yeah.
I miss if ever gonna find me here. Oh yeah. Money gonna find me here. Oh yeah. I miss the blessings gonna find me here.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome to the podium 𝐻𝐿. Blessings overflow. Divines. Welcome him as he comes. Welcome him as he comes. Welcome him as he comes. 𝐻𝐿.
Blessings gonna find me here. Oh yeah. Favor gonna find me here. I'm embracing. Hey, healing have to come my way. Blessings have to come my way. Winning, we winning, and we here to stay. It's the blessings me say will find me here. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I miss if ever gonna find me here. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell them the money gonna find me here. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I miss the blessings gonna find me here. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Tell them to claim it. All of my blessings, my name it. With faith, me I go own it. Nothing shall get home it. Speak life, it is a new day. All things in my past, yeah. Welcome to the new year. Me step out in faith.
PNM family, Mason Hall family, Mariah family, tonight we're putting it down tonight. Tonight we're setting it down tonight. You see, there's so much for us to be thankful for, and I want to start there. And I want to recognize, of course, our political leader, Mr. Ansel Dennis, our minority leader, Mr. Kelvin Morris, Mr. Lawrence Hislop, my very special friend from a long time, my darling, my good friend, Senator Melanie Hislop, all of the other candidates who are here tonight, and y'all, you see, y'all probably never saw me emotional before. But tonight, my family is here, my mother, my father are here as well. My aunts are here. And for anyone who knows anything about what the journey we have gone through for the last year, and please permit me to share quickly. The last year has been extremely difficult. I mean, the last 4 years has been difficult. But the last year was difficult. And I've been sharing all the time that everybody knows somebody who has faced victimization. Everybody knows somebody who has faced wickedness, who has faced bad mind, who's afraid to show themselves tonight. I've shared that the CPEP workers felt it, the monitoring and evaluation workers felt it, TATCO felt it, the workers in the community partnership unit felt it. But I want to share with you all tonight that what you all don't know is that personally I've felt it. You see, because it's one thing to come after 𝐻𝐿, and I saw them coming after me last night, it's fine. And you see, no weapon, and the weapons will form, you know. But you see, no weapon formed against us shall prosper. And you see, and this is the only thing I'm going to say to those people who calling up my name, because it's okay. Because I believe in Ephesians chapter 6, and I wear the full armor of God when I stand on this podium. You see, I'm good with the truth, and I am firm in my belief when I walk in my boots that I know that I'm out here and I'm fully protected and anointed by God. And so I have one thing to say to the people that call me names. I'm not saying it. DJ, play that tune for me, please.
You dig?
Vote for we and we will set you free. Anywhere you turn, somebody chanting to we. Somebody promising jobs for all. Some renting gun to make other people fall. But somebody promising more police car. Somebody going to take the country far. Somebody putting all the bandits away. He said if they do the crime, they're going to damn well pay. But somebody promising the human rights. While somebody threatening to put out their lives. The Montreal full with little Trinidad boys. A bullet start to whine and put an end to the joy. Now they lying cold for their mama to mourn. The Nike gone, the gold teeth gone. You see they want their pocket full with blue silk. They want the statue drinking full cream milk. The little red silk is not their true friend. The blue one have to extra north on the end. So a tag on the toe is now they take it to hell. But look where we reach, well, I hear a madman call. As he spread out on the wall, he said, this is it, I've been hit.
Yeah.
No time to give up, brother.
You see the... You see the madman that calling up my name? You see the madman that gone up in Mariah of all places and call up my name? You see, when I got into politics, my father said to me, "Kwesi, don't take my good name and drag it in your money. See my good name? You see that madman, he don't know his place. But on election day, on Monday coming, in 7 short days, he gonna learn his place." You see, and I said I would share openly because you all never saw me emotional before, so I'll share my story tonight. You see, because it was okay when they come for me because I say I'm protected by the armor of God. I have a wife who prays for me. I have a mother who prays for me. I have my aunts who pray for me all the time. They came after my sisters. They fired them as soon as they went into office. I apologize. I say, well, you all came out of the wrong womb, but they're young and they're bright, so it's okay so they could stand up. They went after my brother and my sister-in-law. I say, it's okay, you're talented. Y'all could fix that, don't worry. But last year, my mother required heart surgery. And I'm telling all of my business. Last year, my mother required heart surgery. A woman who taught many people in school. She taught right here in Mason Hall. She taught in Buku, and she taught in Scarborough Secondary. She's an artist, an art teacher, designer. She has contributed to our culture. I got a call from a colleague, an old schoolmate of mine. She's a doctor. She said, "Kwesi, take your mother's condition seriously." The mistake I made was to call to find out because I heard that she was getting assistance. I called to find out. And the initial was, yes, she's getting help. This is a serious case, Mr. Levine. She will get help. By the same evening, all of a sudden, they don't know if they could help. All of a sudden, because they recognize, oh, is that Mrs. Devine's? Because it's that Mrs. Devine's, not a cent. And you see the wickedness, again, they could come for me. My sister's young, they could stand up for themselves. My brother, he good for himself. But you see my mother? And you see all of the mothers that they came after in CPEP. All of the mothers that they came after in TADCO. All of the families that they have destroyed in Tobago on January the 12th, we're coming back for them. You see all the people that they were wicked to. All the people that they were spiteful to. On January the 12th, we're coming back for them. Because they jump up and down and say, well, PNM had 20 years, so they thought in their minds that 20 years was automatic. But you have to earn it. You needed a good first 4 years, and all you did was to destroy Tobago and Tobagonians. You know, I said I was coming tonight. I said, y'all, I'm not going to talk too fiery. I want to take my time. I want to have a conversation with my people. Because I was born right there in Mason Hall, as Lawrence told you all. I grew up in Mariah. Don't worry, we can play louder music than that, man. Don't worry yourself. You see, the reality is, people, when you take the oath of office without fear or favor, it means that you're there for everybody. It don't matter what jersey anybody was wearing. It don't matter what flag they had on their house. You're there to serve, and you're there to serve each and every person. So I can tell you, when I was fixing Church Street so that they could have a road from the butchers all the way come down, it didn't matter who was PDP or PNM, because we were fixing it for everybody. When we were fixing Rose Hill, it didn't matter who was wearing what jersey. We were fixing it for everybody. It didn't matter if they went to Liz Williams for the crossing in Kokowati. When I fixed it for everybody. In Spice Lane, some big opposition families living in there, but it did not matter because we fixed it for everybody. PNM. They said Kwesi Bay Road people don't vote for PNM. It didn't matter. When the road was falling away, we fixed it for everybody. PNM. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter who lives in Adelphi. When we paved Adelphi Road, it was done for everybody. PNM. It don't matter if Rolly Kwaku was a PNM and he jumped ship. When we fixed Rolly Kwaku Drive, we fixed it for Fair Hill and Mariah. Never thought they would have seen a road. When we fixed it for PNM. Adventist Trace, opposition place again for some people. It did not matter. When we fixed it, I fixed it for PNM. And so my record speaks for itself. Whether it's by Lucille Boxhill in Bay Road, they say about Kwesi, Lucille never support the PNM. It did not matter. When we fix it, we're looking at fixing it for everybody. And so any representative that comes to you and all they could say is you're not getting help because you is a PNM, tell them on January the 12th, ride out. PNM. Ride out. You see the representative that was here before? All they did for the people of Mason Hall was fet on the field, lying by the river, and some hampers. Now that is election time. But on January the 12th, we're telling you, ride out. Ride out. PNM. And I hope the people in Mariah listening, because you see in Mariah, that same representative did nothing at all. Because he said Mariah people like to beg too much. But on January the 12th, Mariah people tell him to ride out. Ride out. PNM. Because you see on January the 12th, when you go into that polling station, when you go into the polling booth and you get that stamp in your hand and you ram the X by the Balizé and you vote for Kwesi Devines, come January the 13th, we are doing it for everybody. And I remind people all the time that I was never the area representative. They say, well, Kwesi, to vote you out. I was never voted in to begin with. I was a councillor. I was the Secretary of Infrastructure, Quarries and the Environment, responsible for development from Charlottesville to Crown Point. And in every single village in Tobago, you could point to a project and said, 𝐻𝐒 𝐍 as Secretary, he did that. And when you see it comes to Mason Hall and Mariah, you could look around anywhere, any direction, speak to anybody. There are things that you can point to and say, 𝐻𝐻𝐒 did that. If it is you ask the next man what he did, we standing up and we waiting is crickets because nothing has been done for the last 5 years. And here's the challenge that I have, people, because I want to move on quickly to the plans I have for the people of Mason Hall and Mariah. Because we're celebrating for Bushed. We're celebrating Bushed with air condition. Imagine if I come to you all here now and I have on the most expensive Prada sneakers and it have no food in my cupboards. Imagine if I have the most expensive iPhone and I have no gas in my car. You spend $1 million plus on Bushed, but they have people in Mason Hall and Mariah that still have to use a latrine when they want to use the toilet. You're boasting about $1 million in Bushed, but they have some people that have to put barrel inside the house because the hole in their roof so big and you ain't help them. So when it rain, the rain falling straight through. And you are the Secretary for Settlements, Public Utilities, and Rural Development. And his promise is promise is promise. Yesterday, I was in Washerwoman. You all might know it as Craig Hall #1. Back in 2020, he was busy in there with a back home mamagaing people. They say, 𝐻𝐻𝐒, I ain't seen the man since. They have people inside of there, no electricity. But you are the sitting secretary responsible for public utilities and you can help your own people. But you see, again, whether I'm in office or out of office, I have been there and I've helped everybody. And it don't matter if he was waving a PDP flag, a TPP flag, an independent flag. It doesn't matter to me. Anybody knows that if you need assistance and I could help, I will help. And when you go to vote on January the 12th, I want you to remember that there is a man named 𝐻𝐻𝐒 𝐍. And when you call on him, he will answer his phone. And if I miss the call, I call in your back. And you see, it don't matter where I have to walk. I will put on my Gideon boots and my khaki suit, and I walk in every trench in Mason Hall and in Mariah. Because when you give me a job, because it is you, the people, who will employ me, you are my first employers. This should be the last time I stand on a stage in front of you. Because next time you all should be standing in front of me and giving me the instruction, 𝐻𝐻𝐒, go to work, get it done. And I can tell you, Mason Hall, in my first 100 days in office, I already have a plan for you. And it is not to put up a billboard and mamagayo with gas station and fire station. Mason Hall, in my first 100 days in office, we are going to begin work on that park immediately. I'm not even going to the swearing in yet, and you will have a mini excavator in that park. We're going to start work because what I'm going to do, My first priority is to give the power back to the people. I am going to go to the village council in Mason Hall. And we are going to go everywhere in this village, to every street. Adelphi Trace, I love you. You need help. Swamp Road, I love you. I know you need help. Leketo Road, oh Lord, them potholes and them terrible. I know you need help. We're going to bring everybody together. And we're going to set our priorities in Mason Hall. And we're going to say, 𝐻𝐿, get it done. Because if anybody knows anything about me, from 2017 to 2021, I was the Secretary of Infrastructure. And the one thing I can do for sure is get it done.
You dig?
And if it means having a business expo to register every single business in Mason Hall, to register them with OPR, tell me to do it, and 𝐻𝐿 will go and get it done. A homework center every afternoon for the children coming from school in the community center. Come to me and say, do it, and I will get it done. I see my girl Sharon just now. Before I left office, we started a flooding survey because we recognize the problems in Mason with flooding. Sharon, come to me and I will get it done. Them potholes like mad in Leketo Road, come to me and we will fix it. I will get it done. We fed up seeing the children in Mason Hall walking on the side of the road, especially in Sandy River. We need sidewalks. I will get it done. And Mariah, I can never leave you out. In my first 100 days in office, I am doing the exact same thing. And before I forget and go on to Mariah, sport is a big deal in Mason Hall. Elizabeth Dennis Beard is still the only sportswoman of the year to come out of Mason Hall. And all I want to say is, when you elect me, sport and culture will be a priority, and I will get it done. We are going to bring back the Mason Hall sports just the way it used to be when Sherwin Ski Cunningham was alive. We are bringing back the sports. Tell me to do it, and I will get it done. Mason Hall does not have a team in the TFA League. Kevon, all the fellas in the net, all you come to me, tell me to do it, and I will get it done. Mariah, coming up to you now, because it's the same thing. The children are walking and they're scared to walk on the road. We will ensure the roads are properly marked. The children are safe. Come to me and say, 𝐻𝐿, to do it, and I will get it done. We have so much natural assets in Mariah. Tourism should be booming in Mariah. Whether it is the old-time wedding, whether it is Big Bay, whether it is King Peter's Bay, whether it is Highlands Waterfall, we will register a tourism organization in Mariah, and we will create tourism jobs in Mariah. Come to me and say to do it, and I will get it done. We need a homework center in Mariah. We need to get some help. Ariel Sibro, I see her mommy here, is doing a lot of work. Ariel, we are going to work with you, and we're going to do a homework center. Come to me, 𝐻𝐿, tell me to do it, and I will get it done. You see, young people are starved of opportunities. In the first 100 days, I'm going to host a symposium called the Money Moves. Money Moves because it was Kodak Black, that it was Nicki Minaj or Cardi B sang Kodak Black. We want to make money moves. We want young people to make money moves because cryptocurrency making money, because people trading in Forex. And we're going to bring people to Mason Hall and Mariah to get young people involved in digital currency. Come to me, young people, and say, Kwesi, do it. And I will get it done. URP workers, I know you all are afraid. But I was there before, and I know exactly how to ensure you keep your jobs, because Wicked Kamala and Farley have already plotted and schemed to close down URP and CPEP. But come to me, workers in URP. Tell me, Kwesi, do it, and I will get it done. You see, the time for old talk has gone. You can't blame other people for your own mistakes. How could you come to the people and say you ain't build a house because of the PNM? $13 billion and you ain't do nothing for the people of Mason Hall and Mariah. Don't worry, with $9 billion, we did all of the development work in here. Give me the opportunity. Mason Hall, North, Mariah, I will get it done. You see, because I have a clear vision. I have a clear plan. And it involves working with the people. There is nothing you can do. No man is an island. And I'm saying to you now, as long as you work with me, Mason Hall, Mariah, and it don't matter if you're TPP or PNM. So Mr. Henry and Dexter, my partner, I love you still. Iman, my partner, I love you still. It don't matter if you feel you could put on a jersey. You could wave a flag and jersey, don't vote. When you go behind that polling booth, ram the X by the belly, say, because you know Kwesi will get it done. You see, there is no space in our community for bad mind. You see that theme that they have, that Tobago is we? Let me explain something to you all. Tobago is we comes from what they're saying in the camp. Is we versus. And you see that we and them thing, it have to done now. When we were there, when I was Secretary of Infrastructure, the Director of Environment, a known opposition supporter and activist, we sat together and we were able to get so much done for the people of Tobago. It does not matter which party you support, as long as we have the development of Tobago in mind. Come to me, work with me, and we will get it done. I promised I wasn't going to talk too long tonight. I promised I wasn't going to get too fiery tonight. But you see, my people, and I want to talk now because I've been talking to the PNM people. I want to talk to the trolls who are watching now. I want to speak to the undecided who are watching now. I want to talk to the people who are right-thinking Tobagonians. So all of you, plus, all who are watching now, the right-thinking Tobagonians. I grew up in a time when you looked at your leader, when you looked at your chief secretary, you could know it is a respectable man. It was a man who respected the elderly. It was a man who you could depend on his word. Now we have a chief secretary. Every time he opens his mouth is one or two things. Somebody says either he lie or he lying. But it's either he lying or he disrespect Tobagonians. And Mason Hall and Mariah, this is not an election for chief secretary, you know. Right thinking Tobagonians, this is not an election about who is the chief secretary and who is the prime minister. That conversation is long gone. 8 months ago, we bought people by the chain up. They say yellow is the code when UNC win, everybody win. Who winning now? I could tell you today self, I fix the tube on my bicycle and I pump up the back tire because drivers under pressure. With that radar, tourism under pressure. They're talking about baby grant, but they raise the price to register babies, parents under pressure. You have a little cooking business, they raise the price of LPG, the business is under pressure. But on January the 12th, right-thinking people, PNM people, children of God, Red Crusade, on January the 12th, we have a job to bring back decency to Tobago. We have a job to bring back respectability to Tobago. We have a job to ensure that the Tobago that we hand to our children and the future generations is one that we can be truly proud about. Because deep down, even the TPP supporters know they are not proud of Farley and his minion and his bunch of liars that work with him. The truth is, even people in Palativia lands for me Speyside are not proud of them. They want to get rid of Farley. He said he loves Charlottesville so much. He said PNM suffered the East so much. But for 4 years in Charlottesville, no pavilion, no community center, no ice machine in the fish market. They're selling the fish on the road, feces flowing out in the sea. Goodwood, no pavilion. Mariah, no pavilion. What have they done for the people of Tobago? $13 billion, 4 years, 48 long months, and they have not done anything of substance for the people of Tobago. But they want to fet, and they want to make you believe that they deserve another term. But the wait is over soon. We waited 4 long years, but in 7 days, we have a say. Just like the children of Israel around the walls of Jericho, in 7 days, we will have our say. In 7 days, right-thinking Tobagonians, PNM people, we will go to the polls and our voices will be heard. In 7 days, right-thinking Tobagonians, PNM people, we are going to the polls and we will send a loud and a clear message. In 7 days, we will head to the polls, PNM people, right-thinking people, and we will put an end to victimization. In 7 days, right-thinking people, PNM people, we will head to the polls and we will put Tobago first again. In 7 days, right-thinking Tobagonians and PNM people, we will head to the polls and we will get Tobago development going again. In 7 days, right-thinking people, PNM people, we will go to the polls and we will save the jobs of every CPEP and URP worker out there. You see, in 7 days, and I want to bring a point home and I want you all to bear me out. You see this 10 on, 10 off thing? I appreciate opportunity for young people, but young people, I want all to hear me out. Because I hear some people say, boy, well, I ain't get through with that 10 on, 10 off. Quay, see what you could do for me. It ain't nothing get through about 10 on, 10 off. 10 on, 10 off people, especially young people, you're not getting NIS, no sick leave, you're not making an effective year, you get nothing outside of the $2,000 that you get every fortnight. When you turn around and the mama guy you that we will make you permanent, nothing more than mama guy. You can't get a loan, you could barely mind your picnic, and you have over 1,000 vacancies in the Tobago House of Assembly as we speak. And you're mama guying young people with 10 on, 10 off. You ain't get you with nothing. So 10 on, 10 off people, right thinking Tobagonians, PNM people, in 7 days we will send a message. We are ending the oppression of 10 on, 10 off. We are going to give young people proper, decent jobs. You see, people get vexed because in Mariah and Mason, they say, but Kwesi, you ain't fix my road. And I told you all before, we ain't fix it yet. They say, but Kwesi, you ain't give me a work. I tell you already, you ain't get employed yet. You say, Kwesi, but that drain behind my house need to fix. Don't worry, I ain't fix it yet. But on January the 12th, I want you all to go out. I want you to spend the message. I want you to ensure that everyone knows, every one of your family members, anyone that you know above the age of 18, you don't need a poll card. You don't even need an ID card. We have a mission in 7 days to return Tobago back to sober, responsible, respectable leadership. We have a job to vote in Mason, not Mariah, for Kwesi Devines. We have a job, people in Palatavia lands for me, Speyside, put your X by the Balizé and vote for Maxlon Roberts. In Roxborough, our guy, we joining with John. People there, put your X, vote for Shanae John. PNM. Belgarden, Glamorgan, you have a true servant of the people, Mr. Carl McEwen. You put your X for the Balizé and let him serve you. PNM. Y'all, I have never seen a candidate work as hard as Kamisha Bacchus, Mount St. George, Goodwood. On January the 12th, put your X by the Balizé and let Kamisha work for you. PNM. You all heard from the tall man, Mr. Dexter Miller, Mason South. That is my brother. Bagatelle, that is my brother. Put your X by the Balizé and vote for Dexter Miller. PNM. You see, sometimes when you realize people putting their foot in their mouth, you have to take the mic away from them. And the woman who will take away the mic from Trevor James, the woman who will take away the seat from Trevor James, in Scarborough, Calder Hall, Scarborough, Mount Grace, you all vote for Petal Benoit. PNM. You respect that? And on the north side, joining with me, the twin walls, I call them, Plymouth, Blackrock, Bethesda, Leketo. Like they're going crazy, they're pulling down flag, they're cussing people, they're offering 100,000 to families. Put your X for Akil guy in Bethesda, Leketo. PNM. And Karen Forbes in Plymouth, Blackrock. PNM. You see Mr. Husford, I tell him all the time, he might be going up for Lambo Lowlands, but he's probably the most popular candidate in Mason or Mariah after me, because the people love him because he's a genuine, honest, helpful person. You all put your hands together. Lambo Lowlands, go out on January 12th and vote for Harvest God, Kevin Husford. And we go up on the hill, the man on the hill, the man who has been serving the youth and the elderly. Patience Hill, Signal Hill, Mr. Brian Harris has always been there. PNM. Let him work for you. Just now someone came to me and said, Kwesi, if it's one seat, If it's one seat that the PNM has in the bag, it's the Bethel New Grain seat. You see the big dog? You see Sterling Timothy? You see the man from yard? Bethel New Grain, Susulans, put the X by the Balizé for Sterling Timothy. And you see the man they call Kelvin Morris? All you see that man? You see any man who could take pressure and stand up? Any man who could stand up and watch 14 plus 3 in front of him and say, we don't afraid them? You have to vote for Kelvin Morris in Darrell Spring with him. Where the train? It have a train ready to leave in Bonaccord, Crown Point. You'll put your hands together. Mr. Dominic Kerr, you'll ensure you'll vote for Dominic Kerr. And I want you to record this. Take out your phones and record this. Take out your phones. I want to see the lights in front of me. I am standing here before you tonight, Mason Hall, North Mariah, and I'm saying it in big. Buku, Mount Pleasant. Buku, Mount Pleasant.
PNM. PNM.
You have a man who will stand up for you. A man who not afraid of the work. Put your X by the Balizé and ensure that Ansel K. Dennis is your next representative and chief secretary. And I am 𝐻𝐶 𝐍 and I endorse that man.
You dig?
PNM.
Because that is leader to have. I can tell you I've gone to farmers in Mariah, check them out, and you know what they say? 𝐻𝐶, hurry up and bring Ansel there, come and see what I'm doing here. They want to see the white boots on the ground again. So if you want to see the white boots on the ground again, put your X by the Balizé.
PNM.
And you see, when we have done it in all 15 electoral districts, when we have spread the word that respectability is going to return to Tobago, when we spread the word that decency is going to return to Tobago, when we spread the word that victimization has come to an end in Tobago, when we spread the word that development will resume in Tobago, when we spread the word that we're going to put Tobago first again, and every ballot is counted, and we have won, whether it is in Mason Hall or Broad Road in Mariah, or we're going down in town, we will remind the people how great our God is. We will remind people yet again how great this island of Tobago is. And you see, they thought they cut down the Balizé, they thought they burned down the Balizé, they thought they trampled the Balizé. But on January the 12th, we will show them how great the PNM is. And I don't care if they don't like when I say it, because it's the truth, and I taught the truth all the time. The PNM is a great organization. The PNM has done great things for Tobago. The PNM has done great things in Trinidad and Tobago. And on January the 12th, we will say that great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. And we have prevailed.
Mad people take over, some wrong with their head. Dance. Fully. PNM, we voting in here. PNM, we voting this year. PNM, we voting in here. PNM, we voting this year. PNM, we voting in here. PNM, we voting this year. You know, feel how the temperature is rising. Rumors of war them promoting. Guns and bombing, no joke thing. The only done on them, they will come a victim. You respect the bad. Folly, crazy, crazy. He acting like he had no sense. He under false pretense. Big people start to panic. Plus they can't like God damn it. It's like they will mash up everything. Dance. Kamala is a mad girl, something wrong with she head. Folly is a mad man, they ready to kill me dead. Kamala is a mad girl, something wrong with she head. Folly is a mad man, they ready to kill me dead.
Pull it up, DJ.
Pull it, please, what game? Be an every 14 in here. Be an every 14 this year.
That is, ladies and gentlemen, what you call class. I said that is what you call class. One of 15 first class standard bearers that are going on the 12th of January to begin the journey of putting Tobago first again. Listen to me. We don't play when it comes to quality. We don't play when it comes to class. You will never see Ansel Dennis on the side of the road changing clothes. And not just changing clothes, but he has no respect for himself, his wife and his child, that he go live. Our chief secretary will never indulge in something like that, because class is class. The fake. So as I am about to get ready, I want to see a voting finger in the air.
Right out there.
Put your voting finger in the air.
For March out.
Put it up.
Across in Buku, Mount Pleasant. Buku, Mount Pleasant.
Put it up.
To the man.
Put it up. Put it up.
March out, Ansel, march out. Only selection time. For March out.
I want the DJ to pull up. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, Mr. DJ. Pull up, Mr. DJ. Before we launch the song, we have a special host who is going to replace me for just this little portion, because we want to make sure that we introduce the incoming chief secretary the correct way. Say correct. Say correct. Mr. DJ, Lego the host.
Across in Buku, Mount Pleasant. Buku, Mount Pleasant, we are giving our support to the man who will defeat 𝐶.
March out, Ansel. 𝐶.
They don't even know what to say again.
Only selection time. For March
out. It's one Ansel. One Ansel. One Ansel. DJ, pull up. Pull it up, DJ. All anything hot?
Ansel. 𝐶.
Across in Buku,
Only selection
time.
Buku, Mount Pleasant.
For March
out. Buku, Mount Pleasant.
Who they want?
Who they want? Thanks, Fally. That is the only time Fally prophesied. He prophesied. So let me get ready.
March out,
Ansel. 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 Ansel.
You respect that. YTP still a child fighter. Ansel in the dark, him a go fix every road for walk. From Cutler Hall, right back to Mason Hall. Ask crazy about it, him nasty. Now feel P and them come fi catch kicks. A 4 years them get dark and them waste.
We are voting
so
for.
So sing back to basics.
Vote PNM today.
Ansel na go play
game, no time.
Across in
Mason
Buku,
Hall.
Mount Pleasant. Buku, Mount Pleasant, we are giving our support to the man who will defeat 𝐶.
March out, Ansel, march out. Ansel.
Alright, DJ.
𝐶𝐒_𝐍.
Tell the DJ after 11.
Lonely selection time. For march out. Are you the people that want to?
Mason Hall, Mason Hall, Mason Hall. It is good to be here in Mason Hall, North Moriah, to give support to the next assemblyman for this district, Mr. 𝐶𝐒_𝐍.
PNM.
Of course, let me recognize as well the candidate and the next assemblyman for Mason Hall South Bagatelle, Dexter Miller, other distinguished members of the team of 15 candidates that will win the election on January the 12th and will begin the rescue operation to save Tobago soon after that. Let me also recognize Senator Melanie Roberts Rajman, former Senator Hislop, members of the executive of the PNM here in Tobago, you, the very vibrant supporters of the People's National Movement. 7 days to go, how you feeling?
PNM.
It is after 11 and I will not keep you too long. But of course I have to say a few words to you. And it is my assignment that when I come to the platform as the leader of this team and as the leader of the PNM here in Tobago, I have to tell you every night something or some things that the PNM will do to improve your quality of life and to ensure that this island and the trajectory of our development goes back in a positive direction. But I stand here accused of presiding over the issuance of millions of dollars in contracts to Tobago contractors. And I want to say here this evening that I plead guilty as charged by Pothole Trevor. Because it has been the policy of the PNM here in Tobago for 21 years, and I want to say to you that when you re-elect the PNM to office on January the 12th, that policy will continue, and the policy is that whenever we spend Tobago's money, and Tobago's development money to be more specific, that we give all the opportunities to contractors from Tobago that will employ Tobagonians and that will reinvest their profits in Tobago. And therefore, my simple commitment to the people of Tobago is that when you re-elect the PNM and I am your chief secretary, I will take away all the contracts that were being issued to contractors from outside of Tobago and ensure that they return to you, the people of Tobago.
You dig?
PNM.
And I will say there will be only one difference, because on this occasion, we will take away some from the largest contractors and trickle it down to some of the medium and small contractors. Because I want to tell you that Tobagonians are suffering from two very tremendous pieces of what I consider to be pain. Pain number one is all the potholes in the road. And that is why we're calling the Secretary of Infrastructure Pothole Trevor.
Right out there.
And could you imagine that even around election time, your roads are not being paved? So no paving for 4 years, no significant road works to maintain the roads that Tobagonians drive on. All you're getting is a patching here and a patching there. And of course, the road to his house in Signal Hill was paved first. But you, the people of Tobago, especially in Tobago East, must contend with potholes all over the place. And you know the reason for that? The reason is, people of Tobago, is that at the first opportunity, they sidelined, blacklisted, and proceeded to destroy every single paving contractor right here in Tobago. And there are approximately, I think it's between 4 to 6 contractors on the island, capable, qualified, and who have the equipment to pave roads in Tobago. They destroyed all of them. And when they do that, who will pave the roads? But Pothole Trevor, big mark is that under the PNM, we gave out 25 contracts to pave roads to Tobago contractors. So who's supposed to pave the roads in Tobago? But you see, what he will not tell you is that while we gave, I think it was 50 million to one contractor, under this administration, they gave over $200 million in road works, plus over $200 million in housing projects to contractors from outside of Tobago. And I'm here to tell you this evening, and I don't care who vex, that our intention is to put Tobago first again. And I want to say to our security firms as well, that we will fix that problem where, again, at the first opportunity, this anti-Tobago administration, and they want to tell you that Tobago is we, and they call themselves a Tobago party. Why? Because they have the name Tobago as part of the party's name. A Tobago party, in fact, the only Tobago party in Tobago at this point in time, is the People's National Movement. Because you don't get to say you're a Tobago party because Tobago in your name. You earn the right of being a Tobago party when your policies and your programs and your agenda is pro-Tobago. And therefore I want to say to the security firms, because it's not only the construction sector they destroyed. They came in and they canceled projects from some of our Tobago-built security firms, whether it was MI4, Med4, or Dominion. They took away projects from those companies and issued them to companies from Trinidad. And you see, you all need to understand the impact of that. Because Tobago-based businesses, whether agriculture businesses, or construction companies, or security companies, when they get opportunities through the spending of Tobago people's money, they don't leave Trinidad, they don't leave Tobago, and go along to South Trinidad or any other part of Trinidad to recruit people down there. They hire people from right here in Tobago. And if a project is being done in Mason Hall by a Tobago contractor, they will hire people from right in this community of Mason Hall to execute those works. And this administration came in and they put an end to that. And in effect, they destroyed the Tobago economy. And that is why today, it's not only construction companies in Tobago that have closed their doors and facing foreclosure by the bank, but go to the malls. You will see businesses that were once opened, closed down. Now all of a sudden, Tobagonians can't go to movie town. It's only Netflix and chill going forward. Some of you need to leave out the chill. But it's only Netflix because movie town closed down. Because you see, the lifeblood of any economy is something called money. The circulation of money in the economy is what keeps it going. And I want to say to you that this chief secretary,
who we are calling the Lion King, is fully responsible for the state of the Tobago economy. Because when you take decisions to cancel Tobago contractors and to cancel Tobagonians to enrich your friends from South Trinidad, then you are in effect removing money from the Tobago economy and destroying that economy. So when you ask yourself why they play so hard, blame nobody else but the Lion King. When you ask yourself why there are so many potholes across Tobago, it is because the Tobago contractors who will normally do your paving works have all been sidelined and destroyed. And the only contractor in Tobago right now doing any road works is a contractor called California Stucco from Trinidad. But Pothole Trevor wants to tell you that it is a problem because the PNM gave millions of dollars to Tobago contractors. We will give more because in fact the THA should be spending about $500 million every year in development works to build sporting facilities, to build community centers, to fix the roads, to fix the drains, to build the retaining walls. And I'm signaling to you, the people of Tobago, that we will spend every cent to develop Tobago and we will put it in the pockets and the bank accounts of Tobago contractors and by extension their employees and those people as well that they do business with. And that is our policy, and I make no apologies for that. And the final thing I will say, Pothole Trevor told the people in Moriah, I think it was, that Ansel Dennis will soon face jail time. People of Tobago, let me tell all you something. I have been in public life for 14 years. And I've been active, meaning in the Tobago House of Assembly, for 9 years. And I had a stint in the Senate as a senator. And for every year that I was in office, I filed my integrity declarations every single year. And I got a certificate of declaration. The Lion King, the Chief Secretary, has failed to file his on several occasions to the extent where he was forced by the court, by the High Court of Trinidad and Tobago, to file his declarations. I have never been the subject of any Integrity Commission investigation. I have never been the subject of any police investigation. My name has never ended up in any court document saying that I misbehaved and that I acted outside the provisions of the law. My name was never in any police warrant. No licensing officers ever showed up by my gap to search any vehicle to see if I engaged in any criminal conduct. I could walk the road. I could hold my head high. I could go anywhere in Tobago. I could go anywhere across the world. And no police will be looking for me.
You dig?
And therefore I want to say to the people of Tobago that when you elect the PNM, you are electing people with integrity, you are electing people with decency, you are electing people who respect public office and who are not in love with public office. And I want to close by telling you the danger of being in love with public office. Because when you're in love with public office, you just end up doing stupidness around election time, such as pulling down red flags to put up blue flags, when you're supposed to be a big secretary of education, operating like you have no education, but you are secretary of education, and apparently you don't do maths in school, so you don't know that flags don't vote when election time come. It's people who just walk in polling stations and put the X and put the finger in ink to vote for political parties. So flags don't vote. But the other foolish thing that you do around election time when you're thirsty for office
is to give out house that ain't built and give out land that ain't developed. And that is why the assemblyman for this district since 2022 distributed houses in Riceland, and up to now the houses have not been built. And he said a couple days ago he intends to distribute 64 more in this month, and the house ain't built yet. And I want to say to those people in closing that when Whitey give you your papers, take it. Because when you put back the P&M, in fact, you have to put back the P&M. Because it's the only way you're going to get that house or that land that Whitey promising you. Because his track record shows that he will give you the documents, he will have a draw for it, and he will never ever build it. Because for the last 4 years, he gave out over 100 parcels of land and over 100 houses, and he only built 4. So in other words, the Secretary of Settlements has been giving out paper houses. So I guess you're supposed to take the letter that he give you and build one of them paper house that you used to build in school. And I'm saying to you, the people of Tobago, although he gave you the documentation, vote for the P&M, because it is the only way that the house that they give you or the land that they give you will ever be built or developed. And because we don't victimize nobody, we will respect any documentation as long as it is legal, as long as it is proper. It doesn't matter which administration did it. We will continue it. We will respect it because we respect Tobagonians. We respect the rule of law. And that is why great is the PNM. Great is our God. Great are the people of Tobago. And we shall prevail.
You dig?
PNM.
Answer. Crazy.
PNM.
You respect that?
March out. Roll out. Hey, what the people that want to know? What the people? What the man in PNM, vote PNM. PNM, vote for PNM. PNM, vote PNM. March out and still march. Are you the people them want? Them not go take no talk. We not the party talk. Them song they start. When me say them song they start. So vote PNM today. And still not go play games no time.
Pull it up, DJ, pull it up.
Fight so YTP still a try.
As we leave the residents of Mason Hall and the residents of Mason Hall North Moriah, the PNM caravan rolls into Canaan Bonaccord, Crown Point Bonaccord tomorrow night as we gather at the Milford Court. We are going to continue spreading this message of hope, giving all of Tobago the opportunity to put Tobago first again. Join us tomorrow night at 7:30 at the Milford Court in Bonaccord as we continue spreading this message of love and hope. Reach home in safety, and God bless each and every one of God's children represented here tonight. DJ.